a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the fifth consecutive PWCC Premier Auction extended bidding watch party. It is Saturday night, October 23rd, 2021. My name is Jeremy Lee. I want to thank last Saturday's guest we had on Sports Cards Live, Brian Dwyer, who was an awesome guest, and Ethan Janes. What two great shows that we had. Check them out later tonight. Actually, there is no later tonight, but there is later tonight on the crossover with Chris and Josh. Check that out later tonight on Instagram. Tomorrow night, guys, on Collectible Live, my guest is going to be Brady Hill, who's an experienced collector, actually been somewhat of a hobby mentor to me over the years. Looking forward to that. We will go live on the Collectible Live YouTube channel tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I want to do my shout-outs. I want to shout out the Big Three Hockey on Instagram. Give those guys a follow. Great friends, great supporters of the channel. I also want to shout out both the Sport Card Expo in Toronto, November 11th to 14th. I'm going to be there. I can't wait. Make sure you're there. Come say hello. Look forward to meeting you and seeing old friends yet again. And also the weekend after, November 19th to 21st, is the Western Canadian Sports Card Show in Langley, just outside of Vancouver, British Columbia. Again, I will be there. Check that out too. Both of the websites are on the ticker right now, so you can check it out. And finally, I do want to thank and ask you to check out channel supporter Whatnot app. They have 1-minute auctions and buy it now shows hosted around the clock by some of the best breakers in the hobby. Safe environment, a community, and avid collectors and buyers. They also have other collectibles, including Pokemon Funkos, MetaZoo comics, and more. And check this out. Mark this on your calendars. November the 1st, Monday night, 10 o'clock Eastern. I will be doing my first live on the Whatnot app. I'm going to be showing off my Wayne Gretzky personal collection, and we'll also be auctioning off a few cards while we are on the app on Whatnot. So check it out, download the app and all that. See you then. I want to shout out Graded Flex. Those guys sent me a really nice holder. You can see it right there with those three Teemu Selanne precious metal gems in there. Check them out. They make just a beautiful holder. Thank all the podcast listeners as usual and all the subscribers. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so. Be sure to share your comments. Adam is in the back. I'm going to bring him out right now. You know him. He's the co-founder of Basketball Card Fanatic magazine, and he just finished his 3-month-long top 100 card countdown on Instagram. So let's bring him out. Adam Gray, welcome back. How are you doing tonight, my man?
I'm great. The first thing that I did this morning, and you can attest to this, I sent you a text like right as I woke up and said, dude, we get to do our show tonight. I'm hyped. So glad to be here and excited to talk about all these awesome cards.
You did send me that text, and I responded by saying, I'm excited. I look forward to this show all month long. It is so much fun to cover these PWCC Premier Auctions, and we have a big one in store, the biggest one yet, 219 lots. Lots of cards. I mean, let's jump right to the chase. There is one card, Adam, that you and I have our eye on in particular because we both own a copy of it, and we both have it here with us. Should we show everybody on 3? 1, 2, 3. So there is a Michael Jordan Jambalaya BGS 9.5 that will be on the, we will be watching that tonight. It is going to go off this evening on the premiere. And Adam and I are, I mean, let's face it, we're hoping it goes for as much as it can because we both have a copy. So we're interested to see what that card sells for. And, you know, it's just so much fun to watch all these cards go off. So with that, Adam, what do you got? What do you want to say?
I was just going to say it's fun because I don't even know when the last time was that a 9.5 sold. There was a 9 that sold at another auction house last month, interestingly. But the last time a 9.5 sold, I think was a long time ago. I can't remember the last time. So, yeah, it'll be fun to see what it does.
Well, speaking of that, so I wonder what's it here. Let's have a look right now and bring it up. So we did right now, everybody, this is sorted the way PWCC has it defaulted, which is by featured items. So, you know, I did these black stars here actually mean that I have favorited these items. If you click up here, these are, actually, these are my favorites. So these are not, here's all items right here. I was cheating. We had it on my favorites already. But if you are, if you are browsing the Premier Auction and you want to add something to your watch list, you hit this little star here and it will then show up when you click my favorites. Same thing if you make any bids, it'll show up in your bid. So we are going to keep this sorted tonight by featured items. And, as usual, there's a Tom Brady selling for over $1 million. That's become just sort of a typical happening in the hobby, a typical happening in the PWCC Premier. And lots of baseball, lots of basketball, lots of football, lots of Patrick Mahomes, lots of Tom Brady, lots of MJ, lots of Kobe. All the usual suspects are here tonight. Adam, is there any card that you can think of off the top of your head that really garnered your interest?
So, in preparation for this, I wrote down 5 cards that will be fun for me to watch personally. And I can tell you any of those, but I'm probably like anybody else. I want to see, what the triple logo man's going to do. I want to see what the Steph NTRPA is going to do. And those are well out of any sort of realm that I'll ever be able to afford, but they're fun to watch, and it's going to be cool to see what they go for. But there's a bunch of cards that I'm interested in because they're more along the lines of something that could fit into my collection, and there's a couple that I'm still considering whether I'll bid on or not. But I've got my initial bid in, so I still have the chance to jump on those if I want to.
I was going to ask, is there something that you're planning to pick up or hoping to? And so good luck to you on that. When your eyes are looking down, we'll know that you're monitoring your auctions. Let's say hello to the crowd. We got Studio Sports is with us as always. Studio, welcome to the show. Ian Undercover, thank you very much. Studio, thank you for the comment. Thanks for the best program. Appreciate that, man. Scotty Stedman, welcome to the show. Dennis, glad to have you. Jeremy, always great to see you. Birds on the back, good to see you. Barbara, love it. Skeppy, hello. Troy, hello. Omar, good afternoon in Australia. Very nice. Albert Jones asks, what's the best spot to check hockey comps? Card Ladder or eBay completed listings for me. PSA Slab Guy got my first issue of Basketball Card Fanatic this month and loved it. There you go. That's awesome. Alley Boy TV, hello to you. Jeff Lawson, love these auctions. Thanks for covering it live. Yeah, we love it too. So thank you for hanging out with us, Jeff. Definitely. Nice looking cardboard. Great to see you with us. Don's, hello to you. Jim, good evening to you as well. So I'm going to put on the ticker right now how the bidding works. Again, we've said it each time, but let's say it again. If you are planning on bidding on any auctions in this monthly Premier, you have to get your initial bids in within the next 20 minutes or so. Otherwise, you will be shut out. And then what's going to happen is for the first hour of extended bidding, every bid that is placed extends the clock by 5 minutes. So you can see right now from 7 till 8 p.m., anytime a bid is made, the whole auction is extended for 5 minutes. Then at 8 o'clock, it's going to shorten to 2 minutes, which is nice. It should be pretty quick. 2 minutes from 8 to 8:30. Then after 8:30, each bid will extend the clock for 1 minute. So it's going to get, I think, Adam, after 8:30, from about 8:30 till 9, I think the bids are going to be, well, we'll see. We've been wrong on this before. We like to think the bids are going to be coming fast and furious, but it seems sometimes that people have their bids in already. So we'll see how it goes. But there are some big cards up for auction in this particular version of the Premier. And let's give a shout out to the monthly auction as well on the PWCC website. Over 40,000 lots there, guys. And the way that the extended bidding works there is slightly different, but very similar. So if you haven't yet, check it out. I think I've got I have 24 or 27, something like that, auctions that I've actually bid on in that. And so there's lots of cards in that auction that I want to buy. And we'll see. We'll see if I can make it happen. How about you, Adam?
I think I've bid on about 150 items at this point. The funny thing is I still feel like I haven't bid on nearly as many. If I'm being so like this is how I think about the monthly auction. We probably should do a show for that because that auction could use some more eyeballs. I like the idea of looking at items that have the potential for not being seen as much. And we don't know what's going to happen because it's the first time they've done a monthly auction. It stands to reason that there's a chance that not everybody looks at it as much as they could, and there could be some really good deals out there. The other thing is that auction's for everyone. right? Whether you're buying cards that are $25 or cards that are $20,000, you'll find it in that auction. So, I would strongly encourage everyone when you're done tonight to go take a look, go search your favorite player, go search your favorite set, and spend an hour or two. I've seriously spent 3 hours looking through stuff, and I know I'm not even close to reaching just the basketball items. How many items are there, Jeremy? It's like 47,000 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I don't know that. Oh, it's 41,238 total items. I've got 24. I got bids in on 24 different cards. I'd love to show it, but I'm not gonna because I don't want anyone bidding on what I'm bidding on. So sorry to the sellers of those cards, but hey, we got to keep some of our cards close to our chest. So, but there's some amazing cards in there, and I'm excited for it. So I am actually planning to cover some of the monthly stuff. I've actually talked to my good friend Joe Perot, and he is planning on joining me on Monday night to cover some of the basketball stuff. Adam, love to have you jump on too. And then on Wednesday is the hockey. Going to be covering the hockey as well. That's right. Tomorrow night is baseball. I won't be covering baseball, not this month at least, but definitely going to be covering the basketball and the football. So more of these type of shows coming right around the corner. And we're going to kind of use the technique and strategy that we've picked up over the past 5 months of doing the premieres to cover the monthlies, because when I used to cover the monthly auction from PWCC, it was on eBay. So it was a little bit, I got used to it. I've been doing that since February. So I'm going to use the same strategy we use for this and see how it goes. 40,000 lots, even divided, however, by sport is still, 9,000 lots is still a lot more than a couple hundred on the premiere. So we'll see how that goes. We definitely won't be able to look at them all, but we'll definitely be watching the top of the screen, which brings me back to the top of the screen. Let's take a look right now. And there, everybody got a glimpse. Let's take a look right there. So here's the top of the screen. And the bids are $34,000 on the Kobe credentials, PSA 9. So if you are new to this program, this is the Premier Auction platform on the PWCC website. Here are all the lots. There are 219 in total tonight. And but if you come to the top, what's really cool is this live updates. It is in real time showing us what the most recent cards are that have received bids. So I really, we've been having a lot of fun watching the top of the screen. Okay, couple more comments in here. Benny Cromwell says, Ben is NorCal, first live show. Great to have you, Ben. Thanks for joining. Pookie, is JSA certification for sports cards legit? I believe it is. Pookie, I believe it is. CRT, Chris, welcome to the show. Great to have you. Check out CRT Sports Cards YouTube channel, everybody. Covers all the Project 70 and Project 2020 on a daily basis. That red Cobb is hot. I know. I had my eyes on that too. Dominic says 2 PMG Kobe's and an MJ between PWCC and Golden. Lots of big cards on the block tonight. Good evening, Tom Bullard. Good evening, Eric. Good evening, studio for JSA. JSA is legit. And Blinding 90s. Good evening to you. Welcome to the show. So why don't we start scrolling, Adam? What do you think? Let's have a look at the cards.
Let's do it.
All right. So we are, again, these are now organized by featured items. So of course, what is a PWCC Premier monthly auction without a playoff contenders championship ticket, Tom Brady, numbered out of 100, going for over $1 million, 1.2. And as Erik Myers would say, that's more than that out the door, 1.3 something. So this card is leading the pack so far. We have a beautiful, beautiful PSA 9 Topps Hank Aaron rookie card. I love this card. I think it's a card everybody should have if you collect baseball and all-time greats. Of course, in a PSA 9, not everyone's going to spend, close to $500,000 once all is said and done, but you can certainly buy one in a lower grade. And then we have a triple logo man, Adam. So this is one that you sort of mentioned before. We got LeBron, KD, and Garnett on this card. It's a 1-1 PSA 9. What do you want to say about this card, Adam?
Well, what I would tell everybody is when you see any of these really huge, exquisite one-of-ones that we've seen, it seems like we've seen a lot of in the course of the last year, maybe 15 months. Most of these came from the same collection, and they've been there for the last 10 plus years, right? And we've talked a lot about that in I'll plug the magazine again in BCF. That huge collection that really changed the game by sort of releasing that into the rest of the world. And so I don't know that this card is from that collection. I'm not sure about that. But what I do know is that, we've seen a lot more of those. So it seems like, oh, just another big Exquisite card. But, take a look at this card. You have 3 of the maybe most, 10 or 15 collected players of the last 20 years on the same card, all on a 1-of-1 with their very best piece of the jersey, the logo man, and particularly having Durant and LeBron, 2 guys that may meet in the finals this year, 2 guys that, are both sort of in that upper echelon for greatest scorers and greatest offensive players of all time. That's a special card. And so as you can tell by the fact that it's already at $180,000 out the door.
Yeah, 180,000 out the door. Let's just sort of set this up, Adam, for ourselves tonight. Let's go with the non out the door, so we don't have to do math in our heads as we're talking about this stuff. I don't know that my mind is going to work that fast. So
we're CPAs, Jeremy. We can do this. We're good at math.
We're good at calculators and Excel, not so much doing math in our heads. At least
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave that one up. We'll come back to that. Let's keep scrolling, see what else we got here. Of course, we have a Patrick Mahomes National Treasures RPA. This one is numbered out of 15. It looks like the green version. It's at $280,000. And then we have another dual logo man auto, Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash. I love this card. I love Steve Nash. He's Canadian. He was a great player. And of course, Kobe. Adam, talk a little bit about, and I mean, it's going to be somewhat obvious, but how much better does the hobby like a logo man with autos versus a logo man without autos?
Well, what we see here is we see like the confined. What is the dimensions of a card? I've heard you say it before. It's
2.5 by 3.5 inches.
So yeah, these 2 cards describe the confines of those measurements that Jeremy just mentioned. A triple logo man auto doesn't exist because it can't. Right? You can't put 3 logo mans and their autographs on the same side of a card. I would argue that as far as basketball cards go, modern day, highest end, the best thing you can do with a card is put 2 logo mans on it and 2 autographs on it. And so what you have here is a 2-time MVP in Steve Nash, a 1-time MVP and one of the greatest players ever in Kobe Bryant, both autographed, same card, on card, beautiful autographs, dual logo man out of the highest end product ever. So although I said I love the triple logo man, if you're just to like see inside me a little bit, this is my favorite of the 2 cards. I would personally prefer to own this card over the triple. Nothing against triple. Triple's super, super huge card. But this card, man, like I'm with you, Jeremy. That card is awesome. That card also, it might be fun to 3D image that guy. That's a beautiful one.
The dual or the triple?
The dual.
I'll open it up. So next up, we have a Tom Brady SP Authentic. This one is in-person autograph, but does have the PSA DNA authentication. And it's a population 1-of-1 with that. It says TriStar on it. I'm not sure. Was the autograph obtained at a TriStar event or something? Probably $300,000. That's a nice price. What do you think, Adam?
I'll bet it has the sticker. I'll bet it has a TriStar sticker on it. Could be wrong, but could
be. Okay, let's keep on. Let's get through this page. I think this Steph Curry National Treasures RPA is. I mean, that patch is absolute filth. It is ridiculous. It is disgusting. It is dirty. And those are all very positive words when you're talking about the patch in a card. It's a BGS 9.5. It is his key card. And, it's one of those, again, that I remember seeing them for sale many years ago and could have grabbed one for well under $10,000. And now you're looking at $250,000 plus. Great card. Congrats to the winner. Congrats to the seller. What a great piece. I think it's a special card. And I seem to think that Steph Curry is underappreciated. I don't like the term undervalued, but I do like the term underappreciated. Adam, any comments on that?
Yeah, I would just say if you were to make a list of like the best, most important, iconic Panini basketball cards, that might be like at the very top of your list, right? The RPAs of the other great stars of our time, a lot of them were upper deck. But Steph, if you make a list of guys that like changed the game the most over the course of the history of the game, it's okay, I think, if Steph's like right near the top of your list. He really did change the game for an entire generation of people, and that is his most well-known card, best sort of Panini era card. I'm not a big RPA guy, but like if you want the very biggest rookie of the guy, that's it right there. And it's in a 9.5. It's beautiful, and like you said, amazing patch.
Unbelievable. Now, what legit auction is really legit if it doesn't have a 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle? And I think there's more than one in this auction. This is a PSA 7. You know, you can see right away that it is off-centered left to right. But aside from that, you know, without blowing it up, it has great color. It has nice edges, nice corners, and a nice surface. I mean, it's just one of those dream cards, $250,000 plus for sure. And yeah, I'm, you know, we all kick ourselves. I know this, and I'm not alone. We all do. But this is a card that it's just one of those things that we all want to have. So great to see it in the auction. I'm just going to go to a couple of comments quick. Skeppy says the double and triple logo man is game used, which is incredibly important versus player worn. I could not agree with that more. Also says the Steph is just event worn, way overvalued for non-game used. Okay. And Birds on a Bat says, am I nuts to not really find logo man patches that cool? Every jersey has them. I'd rather a jersey patch with the colors of the player's team, something to link it to the specific players. I mean, Birds on a Bat, I don't think you're nuts. I feel the same way. I'm not a huge fan of logo man. I understand their importance. The one-of-one nature of them is especially pretty cool. The game worn nature is, but I am also someone who wants to see team colors on a patch versus the more generic logo man. But each to their own, and they're all very cool cards. We have Alex agrees. Townie says, any big hockey cards this month? There are a couple. David Owen says, Jeremy, how are you feeling about that Platinum Portraits price? I haven't seen it yet, David. I'm not sure what it's at, but again, full disclosure, I did pull out my Platinum Portraits MJ, which is a PSA 10, one of the 17 in the population, and there is also one of these in the auction. So another card that I'm hoping goes to the moon. I'm hoping it does, but I'm not bidding. All right. Alex says, I hate logo mans. Well, hate's a strong word, Alex. That's a pretty strong word, Alex. But I hear what you're saying. The sentiment is hurt. Adam, let's go on to this card here. A card that I would also love to have. I mean, you know, PMG red, they're beautiful card. Of course, Kobe Bryant, a BGS 9 seems impossible. Population 1 of 3, none higher, $120,000. Adam, if you had this card in your collection and you just finished your top 100 countdown, which you do leading up to the NBA season, where would this fall in your top 100 cards if you owned this one?
Well, in that condition, especially, it's pretty high. You know that. I know you don't want us to do the out the door, but even if it just stops where it's at right now, it's $150,000 almost, and so it would be up there, probably around like number 6, number 5. This card to me, I actually like, just hot take. I don't love the PMG reds the way that a lot of people do. I understand their importance though, and they're just so expensive that I can't really go get very many of them. Right. But if I was to get any, like, I love the image of Kobe on this card, the no look pass. It's just, and like another hot take, the red's a better looking card than the green is. Like, that's
Agreed.
one of the best looking Kobe Bryant cards in the world. I just love that. And that's another one for the 3D imaging. If you look at how that thing moves side to side, it's just a gorgeous card.
Yeah, I mean, even here you can see so much better what we're working with it, right? Like right there, you can see the texture of the ink. Like, it's not just a flat printed card. It's not like matte or anything like that. It's got some depth to it, some texture. And yeah, these cards they're just phenomenal in hand. I love the no look as well, Adam. That's a good call out. I think this is, yeah, it's just a spectacular card. Okay. Let's keep coming down. Let's try to get through at least one page before extended bidding starts, which is in just under 5 minutes. That's this clock right here. 5 minutes until extended bidding. We've got a flawless vertical green Luka out of 5, $220,000, BGS 9.5. I like this card that you have the whole body shot. He's going up for a layup or something like that. I like the looks of this card, but this card right here, this is one of my favorite Exquisite designs of all time. And I mean, to be able, if you could pair the MJ with the LeBron from this year, that would be pretty special for anybody. But we have a nice 3-color patch, looks like 5 breaks, nice auto, BGS 9.5. Doesn't really get much better than that as far as a 2003 Michael Jordan auto patch goes. No, I shouldn't say. Maybe it does. The limited logos, the numbers. There are some other ones, but to me, this is just such a classy card. Adam, significance of this card.
Well, I think your call out of it being such a good looking card is exactly right. It's just beautiful. And this one has this example of it has fared the test of time better than almost any. The one thing that you see on a lot of these big Exquisite cards is autographs that have fading. But look at that autograph. That one's as good as it gets. And it's a 9.5. And I can't guess that more than like 5 to 10% of the population for BGS graded 2003 Exquisite cards are in a 9.5. So it's great condition. As you mentioned, the eye appeal of it is fantastic. And your question about significance is dead on because 2003 Exquisite is the first really uber high-end product. So, if you wanted a giant Jordan autograph patch card, this is one that is going to be pretty close to the top of your list.
Okay, we got a 2012 Panini Prism case. I mean, that, Prism Gold, that's a great year for Prism.
Yeah.
So
can I talk about that one? Can I talk about that one?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So I actually didn't notice this until you just pointed it out. I kind of skip past the cases a little bit because I'm not somebody who likes to have something big and bulky like that. But it's been a while since we've seen one of these sell. And they're like, the great thing about unopened wax is it's like owning a share of a product, like a kind of like a stock, like a share of stock, but the company is a brand, right? And a year of that. And the great thing, and everybody knows this who's listening, but like these are opened all the time, so there's not very many left. Like there's not too many 2012 Prism cases left. That's super cool. I'm like, I didn't know that was in this auction until right now. I'm super hyped. I'm excited to see what that does. And that it's already, how many boxes are there in a case? 12?
So there's 12. It's a 10 grand a box. And one of the things that people like to say is that by buying unopened, you're actually buying an index fund in the rookie class and everything else that's in there. And then this year you're getting those golds. So I think you're getting them in every year. But yeah, this is a very, very cool offering. And I wonder if the winner will crack it. And if they do, and you're watching, I invite you to come crack it on Sports Cards Live. We'll have a special episode for you. That sure would be fun. Here's another dual logo, man. This one's got Zion and Ja, 2019 Flawless. It's a good looking card in a BGS 9 sitting at $46,000. Another Brady rookie. And then you got this SP Signature famous nicknames LeBron. This card for me, to be quite honest, it's a little too busy from what I see. Don't love the looks of it, but hey, it looks to be an on-card auto. Rookie year out of 25, PSA 10, everything else it has going for it. What do you know about this card, Adam?
Well, this is I'm glad you said that it's too busy because what it does is it shows like how reasonable people can disagree on things. Like I look at that card. That's my favorite LeBron in the auction. And I'll tell you why. To get the nickname, the inscription where it has King in quotations, like, and it's from his rookie year, and it's still a great looking autograph. Like I personally, this is just me talking, I personally would rather own this over some of the more plentiful, better known autographed rookies of LeBron. I don't mind that it's got a lot going on it. That doesn't bother me in any way. But the beautiful autograph with the inscription, and I think is it numbered to 25? I think that's an awesome card. Yeah,
it's numbered down here out of 25. Yeah, it's a special card for sure. This thick black bar down the middle kind of bit of an eyesore to me. But in any event, let's scroll to the top of the auction because we are 5 seconds from extended bidding here, guys. So pretty much right now, if anyone's bids are not yet in, that's it. We are now entering 5-minute extended bidding. So this is where we might see, I don't know what we're going to see. I want to see lots. I want to see lots of bids come in. We're going to hold it here for a minute so we can just keep our eye on this, everybody. while we do that, I will go to a few more of the comments, see what y'all are talking about. Daniel Busby wants to watch some fights, but this takes priority. Make sure to like and follow. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that, guys. Yeah, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that. Yes, Jeremy, the Kobe PMG is hot, hot, hot. PMG hockey. Love my PMG hockey. There's none in this auction, though. Blinding 90 says embroidered NBA logo man should never have gone away. Albert Jones says, who's in 12-13? Adam, you're the card. I know. You like this. You like the BAMs, don't you? Just got a bid. Oh, there's a bid on our jambalayas. Me and Adam like to see that, everybody. But Adam, who's in 12-13?
Well, the easy answer is to give the rookie class, and it's a dual rookie class, which makes it more fun. So you've got both Anthony Davis's rookie class, which is 12-13, and Kyrie Irving's rookie class, which is 11-12. The great thing about 11-12 is all the top is not great with guys like Derek Williams and Enes Kanter. You get the Kawhi Leonard and Klay Thompsons of the world too. So you get Kawhi, you get Klay, from that year, and then the next year you've got Davis as well, and you've also got guys like Jimmy Butler and like I said, Kyrie, and you just go through the list of like, oh my goodness, there are some great rookies in here. But the better answer to me, and this is just my take on it, is actually like it's the first Prism set for all those stars too. So it's Steph's first Prism card. It's LeBron's first Prism card. And even the base cards of those are worth quite a bit these days. And you're not going to ever find a better way to get a PSA 10 than, or a gem mint from another grading company than through, an unopened box like that. So every pack is going to have something meaningful in it. Even like the common cards are still worth something in 2012 Prism. So I'm excited to see what that one does.
Game Time Gallery says, what do you guys think of the 1935 Jesse Owens rookie card? I mean, Game Time, I think it's super cool. I mean, anytime an athlete is so important to a country's history, I think it's a really cool card. I'd love to have a Jesse Owens card in my collection. Adam, do you have any interest in that?
I think that's super cool. I know basketball. I just don't know the other sports. I'd love to even see that. I didn't know that was in the auction. I'm gonna go look it up on my phone real quick.
Yeah, go check it out. Ian Undercover says, I'm with Jeremy. It's all over the place. Speaking of that, LeBron, which got a bid a few seconds after we were talking about it. Logan Fisher says that yellow Gowdy Lou Gehrig is a beauty. I know when it flashed upon the screen there, Logan, it caught my eyes too. It is definitely a beautiful card. Here's a dual ultimate logo shield, NFL shield. Who's that? Eli, and who else is on that card? I can't tell. Let's open it up and have a look.
Looks like a Charger. Is that right?
Here we go. Let's have a look right here. Oh, it's Ben Roethlisberger.
I was wrong. My bad.
Yeah, $15,000. Pretty cool card. Pretty cool card. Okay, let's keep going here. While the top is while there's action at the top, let's have a look at some other cards in the auction. Here's a Mahomes rookie NFL Shield auto 1 of 1 select prime black, $80,000. Mahomes shields can go for millions and millions, so 80 grand seems like a good deal on that card. I love this card in the middle here. It's one that I wanted to watch. SP Authentic Tiger Woods auto rookie. I mean, not only 900 of these ever printed. This is a Gem Mint 10. It's got a 10 auto. It's got the Mike Baker authenticated gold diamond sticker. So very strong for the grade. 44,000. Seems like a good price to me at that for a card like this. And then we got the Kawhi, the card that's been the subject of some recent controversy. Not this particular copy, but a similar Kawhi card has been the subject of some recent controversy. And but this one is here we have a BGS 9.5, pretty sick patch out of 199, $17,000. Seems low to me in price, Adam. What do you think of that?
I don't know about the price. It's not a card I really track well, but what I would say is the fact that he's injured, gives you a zag opportunity, while everybody else is focusing on guys who are coming up in this upcoming season. Everybody kind of forgets about Kawhi. It wasn't 12 months ago that people were talking about him being one of the greatest of all time with a chance to win a third championship with a third different team. And he'll come back and he'll be strong. And so if you believe in Kawhi, it might be the best time ever to pick up something like that.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense to me. Now here we have, probably one of my favorite cards in the auction that I don't own is this 09 Exquisite Collection Flashback Michael Jordan. This is out of 23. It's a BGS 8.5. It's at $100,000, which would be what, 120 out the door. Right when we say we're not going to do that, but this is an easy one at 100 grand. It's easy. I picked up at the National, I picked up the Wayne Gretzky card, which is from this exact set, from the basketball product as well. So I would love to pair it with the MJ and of course with the LeBron, which is what this is flashbacking to. But that's $1 million plus card now. So, maybe one day way down the road, but who the heck knows? In any event, I love this card. It's probably for me would be the number one, outside of 03 Exquisite limited logos, Adam, this is the card that I would love to own.
Yeah, I would say, I think what you're saying is maybe that this is maybe one of the best LeBron Exquisite cards outside of 03. Is that what you're saying?
MJ, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I agree. As far as like notable autograph patches, this is it. Like,
yeah.
I remember when this product came out, people were dying to get the flashback RPAs. And you said something quickly there that maybe some people missed. Gretzky came out of the basketball product, and people might go, well, that's wrong. It's true though. The product had a number of stars from other sports. And I don't know if they're all numbered. Do you know, Jeremy, are they all numbered to their jersey number, or are they numbered to 25?
I thought they were all numbered to 25 until I read that title as I was just mentioning it. So, Oh, that's funny. This card here, which was one we were about to look at, just got a bid. This is the Mahomes tie-dye. Is it 42,000 at BGS 10? That was just in the same row here as the MJ right there. So nice to see this card getting a bid. And here's a Justin Herbert Flawless Platinum, 1 of 1. Pretty cool card. I love the looks of Flawless and Immaculate. I know I say it every time. I prefer the looks of Flawless and the looks of Immaculate to National Treasures. There's a card in this auction that I really like. It's the Giannis Immaculate. Now it's a BGS 9, and I think the autos is a 9 versus a 10, which is the only thing that kind of makes me not, I was thinking about putting in a bid, but the auto kind of scared me off, which it shouldn't, because it's still an amazing, amazing card. But okay, Adam, here we go. Let's go to some more Prism. Here we've got the 2018 Trey rookie gold out of 10, $130,000. I mean, if and right next to it is the Luka orange out of 49 at 95, pop 1 of 14, Trey's population of 4. It's kind of crazy that 40% of them have been submitted already and got the 10. Anything you want to say about these, Adam? Like let's say the gold was the Luka. What's the gold Luka worth?
I think a gold Luka sold for close to $700,000 in the last year.
So Adam, is the Trey a bargain at 130, relatively speaking?
Depends on what you think about Trey. This is one of my. Sorry, my computer's beeping at us. This is one of my 5 cards that I'm watching. Trey is interesting because, and I say that unfortunately, as we've talked about, is the guy who sold a huge Trey card. Now I don't own any Treys, but he's interesting because there are people who are saying that the Hawks are the deepest team in the league, that the Hawks have a chance to go really do some more damage in the Eastern Conference. And Trey, after his time in New York last year during the playoffs, really showed the world a little bit about what he's about. And that card right there, the number to 10 Prism, not the number to 10 Prism autograph, not the number to 10 Prism some other thing, that's the Prism card for Trey. So it's already a lot of money. $130,000 is a ton of money, but that's a huge, huge card. So if you're a big Trey fan, that might be the card that you're looking for. If I was out looking for a Trey Young card that wasn't just like a 1 of 1 or whatever, that's the card. So yeah, I'm excited to see that one.
The MJ Platinum portraits here. The Platinum Medallion. The Ultra Platinum Medallion has been getting a couple back-to-back bids. There's that beautiful 34 Gowdy Lou Gehrig again. Here's a nice 1 of 1 Kobe number sort of card here, number autograph. That's an Upper Deck black card, I believe.
Yeah,
what a nice looking card that is. Do you know, Adam, is this patch, and I don't think it is this a game used, or is this more of one of those manufactured type patches?
It's not. It's manufactured. It is 1 of 1, and I think I could be wrong, but because UD Black did some things that were a little bit confusing to me. But I think there's a version that's like the number 4. So, you could get the number 2 1 of 1, and then you could get the number 4 1 of 1. It didn't take off maybe the way that they wanted to, but it is a 1 of 1 Kobe, and it's not like there's a lot of those out there. The Jordan Platinum, I was looking at this earlier. I think there's 2 of those in this auction. I think there's 2 Jordan Platinum.
There's a 9. Maybe there's a 9 and a 10. But look at this card that just popped up. Dual autograph, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, numbered out of 23, $9,000 from Upper Deck all-time greats. Looks to be 2013. I think it says in the, it's pretty small, but I think it says 2013. I mean, that's a pretty special card, isn't it?
Yeah, it's post, NBA license. So you've got the guys in their college and high school uniforms. It's post LeBron changing his autograph, and people, I think, in general prefer his earlier autograph. But they're both in gold, and there aren't a lot of people like the gold autographs. There aren't a lot of gold duels of these two, and there only a few from UD Black come to my mind right off. So that makes it kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's scroll back down here. So we got to the bottom here. There's of course another Luka RPA numbered out of 15. Beautiful, flawless, full body shot, nice patch window shape, in my opinion. Nice auto. Let's go to page 2. Let's see what's on page 2. In the meantime, Kevin Ashline says, a question: what's a list of guys in the card market that are must-haves? Well, you nailed it with Brady, Michael Jordan. I mean, Joe Montana doesn't come up as often, but I think so. LeBron for sure. I would recommend, Kevin, go to this Premier Auction and just scroll through pretty much every player in this auction that, and many of them are represented multiple times, is a player that is worthy of most card collections. I would say.
How's our jambalaya doing?
Well, here it is. It's at $90,000. So what's that? 108 out the door. So we'll see. We'll see what further bids may or may not come.
Hey,
I gotta say, I mean, it's nice where it is.
What made you decide you wanted a jambalaya, Jeremy?
Come on. I think. Well, here's what made me decide I wanted one. When I got into collecting 90s basketball inserts and Michael Jordans, the jambalaya was the obvious kind of, and I'm going to scroll up while I'm blabbering here. The jambalaya was the obvious centerpiece to me. Nothing else, outside of a PMG, and obviously a green isn't something that I would ever think about, but a red is on my want list. Outside of that, the jambalaya just seemed like the card that I would want. So I'd secured probably 20 Michael Jordan 90s cards. And then I went to the National in 2019, and I knew I wanted the jambalaya. And I met you in person for the first time, Adam, and you had your box of your cards, and we hung out on the floor at the show, and I'm looking through it, and it was the first time I held a Michael Jordan jambalaya in my hand and really got to inspect it and become mesmerized by it. And that right then and there, I said to myself, I need to own one of these, and I didn't think I ever would. Even back then, at the price it was at in 2019. I did not think I would ever own one, but I was fortunate enough to acquire mine in January of 2020. So just before the craziness happened, and I still have it here as evidenced by holding it up right now. So that's why it's everything about it, everything about this card, the shape of it, the image of Michael Jordan jumping off the card. I love that. The lenticular stock. The fact that arena design, Gene McLeod designed this card. I love that. Yeah. And just the fact that it's so unique and there's not many other cards like it out there.
I was thinking about this card earlier, and we knew obviously we were gonna talk about it. Because it's fun. Like there's not a lot of cards that you and I both have, right? And that's probably because we collect in different ways, which I love. I said earlier, reasonable people can disagree, and you always ask about how people can hobby. It's cool that we like different things. Like I think that's fun. I think it's good when people have different tastes and things, and it's fun to root other people on. But as I was thinking about it, I think there's a reason it's a Jeremy card, and there's a reason that it's an Adam card. It's a Jeremy card because you collect iconic cards, right? Like all the biggest cards that you have in your collection. You talk about your Jackie, and you talk about your Gretzky, you talk about your Jordan Jamble. Like they're cards that are really well known, and people who have been in the hobby for a while can just look at the card and know immediately what it is. And you'll walk through technically, like you just did, what with the Jordan, why the card is wonderful. And I think that's all awesome. And I'm 100% on it. And I love to hear you geek out as you do those things. But for me, it's an Adam card because it's rare. Like, as I was looking at it earlier, trying to think about like, how do I want to talk about the Jambalaya? I like it for all those reasons that I just talked about for you. But I love it because it's a rare card. It was 1 in 720 packs, and it's a 15 card insert, so it's like 1 in 10,000 something. But not only that, like I was looking at the population report, there are more graded LeBron James exquisite RPAs than there are Jambalayas. Like I think that's really cool, even though it's been around 6 years longer than the LeBron. There are fewer graded in a BGS holder than there are of the LeBron. There are more graded Steph NT RPAs than the Jambalaya Jordan. So not only is it that iconic, awesome insert, it's also super rare. It's all those other things that you talked about. And that's what people mean when they say it checks a lot of boxes. It hits both types of collectors. And that's probably why we both own a copy.
It's an important card, and it's an important for a good reason. Okay, before we spend too much time hyping up a card that we both own, but it is a Jambalaya. We'd be hyping it even if we didn't, so it doesn't really matter. 1955 Topps Clemente in an SGC 8.5, $75,000. I wish I knew off the top of my head what a PSA 8.5 would go for, because that would be a nice comparison. If anyone in the chat has the opportunity and wants to let us know what a recent, if there is one, 8.5 goes for. It's always kind of nice to understand the differences between grading companies, and I like it because you can identify what can be some great value buys. Coming down, more Mahomes, Herbert, Luka, more. And here's another example. My favorite card, Jackie Robinson 48 Leaf. Here it is in an SGC 7.5. PSA 7.5 I think would be a couple $100,000 at this point of an auction. So is that a value buy? I mean, probably it is. Of course, Mahomes probably has like 300 cards in this auction, and there's only 219 in the auction altogether. So I don't know how that math works, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. We have a Herbert contenders, and another one of my all-time favorite cards, the 33 Gowdy Babe Ruth number 53 and a PSA 5.5. And this has the superior eye appeal rating, meaning the top 5% of copies in a PSA 5.5 that have passed by the desks at PWCC. I love this card.
Do you have that card?
I do. I have that card it's right here. I have it in an SGC 5.
Ooh.
That I purchased from Robert Edward Auctions probably in 2013 back there. And Brian Dwyer, the president, was actually my guest on Sports Cards Live last week. So check out that episode, everybody. He's a great guy. That
was a fantastic episode. I don't know him, but to hear him talk about acquiring the company, doing the buyout, and then to hear about like what the last 18 months has been like, and how they try to different. Like I thought that was a great episode. But this card is, I've been thinking about this lately. Like if I wanted to own a card from a different sport, what would I want to own? I think the answer is a Babe Ruth. Like as we were growing up, we watched The Sandlot, and we like. Everybody's known who Babe Ruth is for 100 years. And
well, did you, yeah, exactly. All the all-time greats look up to Babe Ruth. And to me, that says a lot right there. The all-time greats look up to him. Well, of course they do. He's as well known as Muhammad Ali. Like he's as Michael Jordan. He's the guy. Here we have, speaking of Michael Jordan, here's his 86 Fleer rookie card in the BGS 9.5, 55. I don't know if you noticed, Adam, but I am wearing my Michael Jordan rookie shirt today.
I did. I love it.
For the episode. Yeah.
I need to get cool shirts. I don't have a single shirt that has a card on it Do we have like somebody who can send me something? Now I'm pandering to our audience. I need like a Jambalaya Jordan on a shirt. That would be cool.
Yeah, you do need that for sure. For sure. And of course, the 52 Topps Willie Mays, a classic card. Alpha Lamb, thanks for coming. Okay, next up, we've got.
Wait, hold on. Can we go back up real quick?
Yeah.
One of my other 5 cards I wanted to highlight, you went past. This Kobe Bryant card is an Adam type card because like it's not from some like super well-known set. I think this is the second year of National Treasures. Yeah, I know it is. It's the second year of National Treasures, but it's a 1-of-1 with a cool little Laker logo on it. If it was autographed, it would be crazy. Like it would be 6 figures. It'd be a huge card, but it's not. So what it does is it provides a 1-of-1 Kobe Bryant card that is going to land in some world that's a lot more, affordable. Me, like I like have to consider like how affordable a card is when I go buy it. So although I'd love an autograph version of this, I can't afford one of those at this point. But this is the sort of card that I look at and go, you know what? That's really cool. That differentiates my collection if I buy that card. So for me, that's one of the cards in the auction that I'd be most likely to bid on.
I like what I like about what you said is that, autographs are important. People love them, but when a card or a player's autograph gets beyond your means, sometimes there are other alternatives. And like you said, a nice patch can be that alternative, or maybe just a rare insert, a numbered insert or a numbered parallel, something like that too. It doesn't have to always be autographs. We have the Charizard. I don't think this is the first edition, but it is the shadowless. So pretty good card if you're into that kind of thing. And I know many people are. The Lou Gehrig that we spoke of, the Wilt Chamberlain PSA 8. I love this card. I talk about it every time we see it. Top 30% eye appeal rating, $44,000. I think this is, to the question about, a list of players that are kind of like must-haves. To me, this is a Wilt Chamberlain and this card are Mount Rushmore type cards for basketball. That's a must-have in my opinion. Here's the Platinum Portraits. I do have this card, $48,000 plus the juice, whatever that ends up being. Very nice card.
What do you think of that price right now? How do you feel about that?
Well, to me, it seems low. I'll be transparent. I turned down an offer of $60,000 for mine. Back in June, I believe it was June or July. Maybe it was before the National. So it was in July. And so this, to me, maybe I should have sold it and bought this one.
Well, we're not done yet, right?
We're not done yet. It's a population of 17 for what is a pretty iconic Michael Jordan insert from the 90s.
Can you click on that one? Can you show us that one in 3D? I want to see that one in 3D. Because it has that hollow foil, and you can see the pinholes. I think maybe the 3D will show us something cool on the pinholes here. Yeah, I don't have this card. I've never owned this card, but I own the next year something's kind of comparison to it. Oh yeah, I love that card. Can we see the hollow foil again?
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah, it's with the black background, it's hard to see kind of the holes. This is all laser cut through to form his image. But it's a card that I just I love this card. And
that's a cool view there, actually, as you get the other direction. Yeah, there. Look at that. That's awesome. I love that.
Right there. Yeah. I made the comment that perhaps I should have sold it and bought this one, but I don't sell cards like this. They're in my collection for decades, not months or even years for that matter. So it wasn't even something I even considered accepting. Actually, when the guy made that offer, I said no. And he goes, "Well, what's the number?" I said, "Well, really, like you're gonna think I'm crazy, but like $200,000. Otherwise, I'm just not selling it. Like I want to keep the darn card. There's only 17 of these things." Yeah,
so, you won't get that one back if you sell it.
Well, except tonight. I had the chance tonight.
Yeah, but you don't. Again, we're not done yet. So let's see what happens before we jump to conclusions. But let me show you. So can you scroll back up real quick? There's 2 others that I was hoping we could highlight on this page. Or no?
We're past it now. We're past it. And as you can see, it takes a while to load. So this is a very similar card to the Platinum Portraits, the Molten Metal Fusion.
Yeah, that's the one that I was referring to actually. So yeah, but Definitely, and definitely similar. Both iconic, important Jordans. That one right there is not a PSA 10 though. And if it was a PSA 10, it'd probably be a little bit more. That LeBron right there, the 2002 is another one I wanted to highlight. He only has a couple of XRCs, and I would guess, this is just a guess, I can't confirm this. You have to tell me. I would guess that you would not like that he's in a white suit. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think the card looks cool. I do like the aesthetics. I like those orange hexagons in the back there. I think it's a nice looking card. I like the clean white finish and the glossiness of it. But yeah, however, Adam, if it is an image from his draft day, which is a very important day in any player's history, I might make an exception because it's from the draft and it's not just some random picture of him in a suit. So I might be interested in that card actually. But general rule, I want team uniform.
So if I was to buy a big LeBron James rookie, and there's somebody out there who owns a gold from that year, and he'll attest to this, like it would be the gold of that card. I love, and this is again something that makes me different. I love that like it represents that day in 2003 better than any other. And I love the baggy white suit. It's straight out of 2003. It's unlike, it doesn't look like any of his other cards. I don't necessarily need him in some iconic image. Like to me, that's where it began. That's what makes that card cool.
Agreed. But while this card is up here, now it's over here. This Precious Metal Gems Michael Jordan. I think this is an interesting. I'm going to open this one up. This was one that I had on my watch list because I think it's an interesting opportunity for a collector to get in on a Michael Jordan PMG right there. It's just not the 97. It's the 08. It is out of 50 versus the 97 that's out of 90, right? It's not the same iconic image, of course. It actually kind of looks a little bit, I think it looks a little funny, but I do like it a lot. And it's a card that I think it's a nice alternative to the original. Where do you stand on that, Adam?
So, yeah, I've got lots of thoughts on this card. The first thing that I'd say is you're exactly right about being an alternative. Numbered PMGs started in 97. There was 100 total of the red and greens. There's 50 of the PMG championships. And the next year they did 50 as well. They didn't do any other PMGs after that time until Upper Deck took control of Fleer. And that's what this is. This card was actually made by Upper Deck using the Fleer, brand. You can see Upper Deck there on the bottom left. I think if I'm right, I think that this is the last one that they did where he's in an NBA uniform. So it's not like there's a huge number of PMGs to choose from. Now, if we're gonna be honest, they're not. That's not from his playing days. It's nowhere near the value of those original ones. But it's a way for you as a normal person to maybe be able to get into a PMG where most of us have kind of lost out on the opportunity to get into one where prices are today.
So let's go back in time to this card right here, the 1909 to 11 E90-1 American Caramel Shoeless Joe Jackson, an SGC2. This card is so cool. If you look at it, it's like he doesn't have a nose in the card for some reason. Every copy I've seen, there's no nose. Before we go there, I'm just going to go back here for 1 second. I want to bring up Blinding 90s comment right here. It says they have no shine, pass. And if you notice when I went to the 360, that's exactly what I was looking for. Blinding. I was looking to see if there was any of that shine, and you can see it's still here, but there isn't. It's not done the same way that the original PMGs were done. So it's an alternative, but I think it's not a great, like, it's as good as you can get, but it's not because the 2012 Fleer Retro PMG has a degree of that shine, but he's in his college uniform. He's not in the Bulls uniform. So that's another option or an alternative, but you're giving up the professional jersey, the professional uniform, which is something that's important to me. But back to the Joe Jackson. Like, where's there's his nose. I guess there's his nose. I just think it's a funny card, and but one that I would also love to own for the historical significance and just the legend of Joe Jackson. Of course, there's several LeBrons, several Lucas. Here you have the color match. I think this is out of 49, probably the Luka rookie that I would want, and I do prefer it to the Prism. I prefer the Donruss Optic to the Prism card, just from an aesthetic perspective. You're smirking, you're nodding. Are you on the same page as me there?
Yeah, I totally agree. I do. And the fact that one's color matched is pretty cool, but nobody, you know, other than the fact that it's color matched, nobody's out there going, I really love blue. But I'm with you on the optics. It's a better looking card than the Prism is.
I agree. Well, and there's a version of the Prism, the tiger stripe. So for an immediate comparison, a beautiful Sandy Koufax 55 tops and a PSA 8. There's this LeBron we were talking about before. So this is out of 250. That's pretty nice, pretty rare card still for back then. Here's another LeBron, the Bowman Chrome Refractor out of 300 is a set. So the Bowman Chrome Refractor, it's out of 300 is at 17,000, where this one's at 21. There's less of them out there, but this is a higher grade. So I don't know what that, what the ratio between the two should be, but it seems to be pretty dead on. There's that beautiful Ty Cobb red background portrait card. And so here we can have a direct comparison. Here's the Luka color match Prism. It's, it's pretty nice looking too.
Yeah, the color match thing is nice, isn't it?
It is. That's a relatively new term within the hobby too. Like literally in the last 18 months, that's something that I've heard people talking about. That was that term I'd never heard in 40 years in the hobby. Go ahead.
I was going to say at the top, one of the other ones that I was looking at was the flawless LeBron 1/1. Definitely another
right now.
Yeah, that one's like another Adam type card. It's a 1/1. It's not, you probably don't like the black on the side. Personally, I don't love the black either, but like it's a LeBron 1/1 from one of the big brands. And you just, guys like, I talk about this all the time. Guys like Bob M. Track, they just buy these and then you never see them again. So to see a 1/1 like that out of, one of the, it's his main parallel out of flawless. I don't know what year that is, 2015 or something. You just don't see those very often. So I'm kind of interested to see what that one does.
Well, we will find out in due course for sure. I love this Mickey Mantle. It's the 53 tops versus the 52. Speaking of like alternatives, if you're priced out of the 52, the 53 to me is just as beautiful of an image and a card. It lacks that iconicness that the 52 tops has. But what a great alternative this card is to the 52 tops. And I'm going to not talk about every card we're going by here, Adam. If there's something you want to hone in on, just jump in.
Real quick, on the 53, aren't those, and the 52s as well, aren't those a little bit bigger than normal cards?
They are, yeah. They're a little bit bigger. They're not 2.5 and 3 by 3.5. I'm not sure what the actual measurements are, but they're a tad larger.
You guess that leads to larger amounts that were damaged, right? Larger cards are more likely to suffer from creasing and other types of wear.
I would think so, just because they're bigger in the hands of kids and adults for that matter.
This Jordan right here is another one of my 5 that I wanted to look at. I've made the case. I've got the LeBron from this set. I've made the case that the 2004 Exquisite. This is another one that if you looked at and you do the 3D thing, it's gorgeous because of the Hall foil. But I made the case that I think this is the best autograph patch set that's as widely available. There's 100 of each of the not of every card in the set, but of almost every card. And it's just a great looking set.
Yeah, agreed. Beautiful, beautiful cards. I like this this Josh Allen over here, that 2018 National Treasures. I mean, as I said before, I do prefer the Immaculates and the Flawless, but this card just looks good to me overall. Love to have a copy of that out of 25. And you can't go wrong with the Kareem rookie, right? The Lou Alcindor here in the PSA 8. This gets the above average eye appeal rating, $38,000. Very nice card. Another one I think every serious collector of all-time greats should own.
Do you own that one?
I do. I have it in a PSA 7.
Oh, that's one of those sets that I feel like I missed the boat on. I bet you paid. How long ago did you buy your 7?
I don't know, maybe in 2015 or 16, something like that.
The prices on those they're just so. I mean, that's in my opinion, that's a top 5 most iconic basketball card of all time, and like a 7 is a great grade, and 8's obviously amazing. There's another few Alcindors or another few Kareems in this auction. It feels like somebody had like a really incredible Kareem Abdul-Jabbar collection, and they decided to piece them out because there's this one. There's also a 72 and a PSA 10,
Oof.
which is really a great card, and then a 75, which a lot of people don't but I love because it's a difficult condition set. In a PSA 10, I actually bid on that one earlier. It's vintage basketball still. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, it's such a great investment. It hasn't, it went up, but it's come back down. It's way more expensive than it used to be, but I still look at it and I go like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is one of the best players of all time. I think he's the second best player of all time. And his like high grade vintage stuff, there's not very much of it. You don't see it very often. So those are some of it's cool that they're in this auction.
I agree with what you said on the 72. That's a card I had my eye on a PSA 9 for a long time. I love that card with the orange background. His pose it's almost like he's crouching down to get in the border of the card because he's so tall to even fit on the card itself.
I'll give you one other thing about that card that I think is really cool. That's his first card that has his name that we call him by. It's his first Kareem Abdul-Jabbar card.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, let's keep on going here. This next row. So this is the Giannis that I had my eye on. I had my eye on it when it was at $12,000. It's now at $25,000. The auto is graded a 9 on the back. I still think that this card, I mean, for me, it's beautiful, beautiful card, and I think Giannis is worthy of holding. Lamar Jackson over here, and a BGS 10 Peyton Manning SP Authentic rookie for $18,000 at the moment. Very nice row of cards. Here we got a Dwayne Wade X-Fractor out of 220, some Shohei, and a trilogy autofocus LeBron James. The Shohei has the on-card auto out of 50, BGS 9 sitting at $11,000. Another Jackie rookie, the 49 Bowman, PSA 8, above average eye appeal. Another great card. Here's some more Trae Young out of 49 RPA, and there's the flawless LeBron you were talking about, Adam, at $17,000. Oh, here's some hockey. We have a 1966 Topps Bobby Orr PSA 7, very strong grade for the card. Top eye appeal rate, or top 30%, which is above average. The PWCC-A at $20,000. Great card. And a Zion courtside gold disco prism out of 10 at $15K. There's the second Mantle 52 Topps of PSA 4. This one has better centering than the PSA 7 at $75,000. Shaking my head because, you could have had this card for probably $10,000 a few years ago, and you didn't. I'm talking to myself. I'm looking at myself. You didn't buy it, and you had the chance. Let's go all the way up to the top, see what's going on up here. Hey, speaking of Kareem, there he is in the 75. You were just talking about that card, Adam.
Yeah, I like that card a lot. I don't know. Is there a population on that one? Do we know?
Yeah, probably. We can open it up and take a look. See what comes. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to go to a couple of comments here. In the meantime, well, let me just see where we left off. There's been a bunch that have come in here. PSA Slab guy says, any thoughts on funds, fractional, buying up these high dollar items versus collectors? I mean, first of all, we don't know exactly who's buying what unless they come out and tell us. I think there's a lot of speculation that it is both, some of the funds and some of the fractionals. I've gotten to know the people at Collectible pretty well. I do a show for them on Sundays and on their YouTube channel. And, they're a consignment company. Everything that they fractionalize is on consignment. So I guess some of the others in the space, the Rallies, the Otises, Alts, if they're the ones that are out there buying the cards, I think it's I think it's a good thing that there is that kind of. I think it's helping everything else below it. Now, some people might not like that because it's also pricing some people out of some cards. But if you want to see the value of your collection go up, I think that's one way that we're one of the mechanisms that is in the hobby now that is becoming a part of the fabric of the hobby that is going to continue to be. And so, yeah, it just is what it is. But versus collectors, some cards are just too expensive for your average collector at this point in time, if not many. What do you think, Adam?
I think both you and I have like pretty nice collections, and we're very fortunate that we got in early because I don't think either one of us could have put together the collections that we had if we would have gotten in even in the last couple of years. Most of the best cards that I have, I bought 10 years ago. And so, and the reason a lot of people will ask questions like, how have you been able to hold on to stuff as it's increased in value? The Jordan Jambalaya is a good example. Both you and I paid a fraction of what it's worth right now because, I think most of us knew like at some point there will be fractional ownership. That's going to be a thing. Like I realized that 5 years ago, right? I've been talking about that for 5 years. I knew that there would be funds at some point, right? And that has all become a reality. It's growing. It's growing every day. And so, you're going to continue to see more of that. And you have to sort of like include that in your calculus as to like how you feel things are going to move in terms of their value. But it's hard to do that because funds and fractional groups that are purchasing the cards are going to move in different ways than maybe individual collectors do. And so, I think Jeremy's right. I think a good percentage of these are probably being purchased by funds and by fractional groups, but we don't know unless people come out and tell us. And the funds, for the most part, aren't going to come out and tell us.
That's right. I think you have a lot of wealthy, just private collectors / investors who are, it's hard when you're spending. I say it all the time. When you're spending significant money, whatever that is to you, but when you're spending significant money on a card, you have to look at it as an investment, or else you're just being, unless, no offense to any of you out there, but otherwise I think you're just being irresponsible. You have to consider what that card is going to do down the road if you can. And because otherwise you might be taking food off the table or that sort of thing. So I think you have a lot of collectors who are investing nowadays. And you have a lot of investors who came in who have been converted into collectors. I've been hearing more and more about that, which is kind of what we want, right? We had a lot of new people come in. A lot of people maybe got burned because they bought all their cards in January, February of 2021. Maybe they didn't last, but a lot of people who came in with dollar signs in their eyes did fall in love with a lot of these cards and are now in as collectors, which I think is sort of the optimal result from the run-up that we had in the very early part of 2021. I'm going to go to a few more comments here. Ralph, good evening to you. Great to have you. Get those trigger fingers ready. I hear you on that. Although I'm going to have my trigger finger ready more on Monday and Wednesday during the monthly auction, the PWCC monthly auction, which I'll mention again. Now we've had people coming and going. I will be doing similar episodes on Monday and Wednesday this week. Monday's basketball, Wednesday is hockey. And if you want to buy, and again, I'm talking about the PWCC monthly auction. That is not the one we're covering tonight. This is the Premier auction. You can see it says that right over here. But if you go to the PWCC website, you've got the Premier auction menu drop down here and the monthly over here. They're two different things. The monthly, the ending evenings kick off tomorrow on the monthly. And I'm planning to cover, as I mentioned, the basketball. They end on Monday and the hockey ends on Wednesday. So join the channel. Keep your eyes on the channel. Subscribe to the Sports Cards Live channel. If you haven't yet, I guess you can hit the notification bell too to know when we do go live and check that out. And while I have your attention, if I still do, check out the ticker right now, guys. Whatnot, the live streaming app for breaks and slab auctions. I am going to be doing my first live on that platform on Whatnot on November the 1st, Monday night, 10 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to be showing my Wayne Gretzky personal collection and auctioning off some cards during that time too. So download the app and come hang out with me on Whatnot on Monday, November 1st. I'm excited about that, actually. I've been checking out the app more and more, and it is freaking cool. It's really, really cool. So I'm excited to try my skills at a live stream on there.
Hey, Jeremy,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about the funds and the fractional thing a few minutes ago, and kind of occurs to me as we move on from that question. You and I are both, I think, we're trained as accountants to be like, to have like some natural conservatism to us. So we talk about how things get too expensive for us. The reality that we also have to sort of like consider and like maybe verbalize right now is the reason that some of these things are going so high is because people believe they're going to continue increasing in value. So I don't want to leave it in a place where we just say, hey, this stuff's so expensive, because you and I are both bidding on a lot of things on Monday and Tuesday, and we're not bidding on as many things right now. But the reason that some of these things are going so high still is because there are a lot of people who are really bullish on our hobby and on some of these cards. And the fact that, a card of I think Justin Herbert just went past, that's $100,000. We don't even blink an eye anymore, Jeremy, at like 6-figure cards. Like we don't even think about it. It's like not even a big deal. We used to celebrate. We used to say, this card is increased to this price and this is incredible. And we would all just sit back and go, this is amazing. We've kind of gotten like desensitized to incredible things happening. This auction tonight, we're like tens of millions of dollars are going to be spent. And like you said at the lead, you have this Tom Brady card. It's over $1 million. We don't even bat an eye at that anymore.
We don't. I can go back in my mind. I'm sure I'm not alone. I can go back in my mind to being at a card show in 2010. It would have been 2010. And a buddy of mine wanted to buy what was like the top RPA from Upper Decks the Cup that year, John Tavares. And he said, and one of the nicest copies was pulled at the show. It was right behind me. A fellow vendor in the same kind of square that I was in had it. So the guy let me take a picture. I sent it to my friend. And, at the time they were selling for like $1,500 for a typical RPA at 99. My buddy said, I said, well, what do you authorize me to buy it for you up to? He goes, $4,000. I was like, what? You're willing to spend $4,000 on this card? He goes, $4,000. I go, okay, that's your money. Bought the card for $4,000. That's what it cost. And, now the top RPAs from the right player, in hockey even are $150,000. Never mind, million plus for basketball. So, or hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s, if you're talking about, guys like Steph, but if you're talking about LeBron. So anyway, yeah, it's crazy how, I used to bat an eye at $4,000. Now I barely bat an eye at $100,000 because it just happens regularly. Every weekend we're seeing, never mind 100,000, Adam, we're seeing $1 million sales all the time. This auction itself has that Tom Brady was at 1.2 last time we saw. And I don't necessarily want to, actually I will. Let's go to this screen here. Here's the triple logo man that we talked about earlier. It's at $150,000. I'm actually just going to go to the Premier auction itself here and see what's going on at the top of the featured listing here. So there's the one I'm talking about. Here's the Tom Brady. It's at $1.2 million already. So, I mean, that's 1.4 with the juice. And we're not shocked. We expect it to happen.
We do. If it doesn't, we're shocked. Can we sort by highest first?
Yeah, that's a good idea, Adam. Let's sort by highest price.
While you're doing that, let me just show real quick. So this card right here, I've got terrible lighting in here. I apologize. But this card right here is a PMG Championship Jordan. PWCC did a private sale of this card in the last couple of months for $200,000, Jeremy. And it's like,
wow.
Like at one point I had an offer on that card of $20,000 that I strongly considered taking. And so that wasn't that many years ago, right? So this is how you and I know that we're insane human beings, Jeremy, is that we still hold all of these cards that we love, even though they've increased 10x. But the crazy part of it is that we're holding it because hopefully we hold them because we love them and because we're collectors and stuff, but also because neither of us think that this is going to like tank anytime soon, right? Like we both are still super bullish on this wonderful hobby that we're part of. Of course, I bet we both are, because we both spend so much time with it and we both love it so much. But it's just a new lens that we have to look through.
Well, the key there, Adam, I think, is that yes, you and I are both bullish on this. That's obvious. We just are. But what's kind of even what corroborates that is that there are many people smarter than us with many more resources than we have that are bullish on this as well, that are pouring money into the hobby's infrastructure. And so many entrepreneurs are launching businesses in the hobby. So we are not alone. Many people are bullish on this hobby. And, the Fanatics thing is evidence of that, right? It's and with their reach and their marketing prowess, and just the reach they have, I think it's going to just do even more for the hobby. And it might, and now I'm speaking about the historical hobby, the body of work that comes before the Fanatics era, because I know people are concerned about what's going to happen to cards once they start, like cards from 2025 and forward. But just the fact that they're going to make, I believe cards are going to become such an integral part of society. You're going to see them everywhere, just like you see hats everywhere, and jerseys and that. I think it's going to bode well for the hobby, for the values of the important cards in the hobby overall. So we're now sorted from most expensive to least, and of course the Tom Brady is at number 1 at 1.2 million. We have a pretty big fall of $900,000 to the Hank Aaron PSA 9. I like seeing the Hank in number 2, and I like seeing a Hank Aaron card ahead of a Patrick Mahomes. Nothing against Patrick Mahomes, but a lot for Hank Aaron. Tom Brady, the autographed SPA, is in 4th place at $300,000, followed closely by one of my favorites in the auction, the Steph Curry National Treasures RPA at a 99 at 280. And then, right where it should be, at 52 tops, Mickey Mantle at 240. Then you got a Luka. I mean, a lot of future hope baked into the price of this at 240. But I think Luke, that kind of explains Luka, because look who he's in the company of here: Tom Brady, Hank Aaron. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, kind of in that Luka territory, but Tom Brady again, Steph, Mickey Mantle, Tom Brady, Kobe Bryant. Nice to see this card here, the refractor, the Bowman refractor, Tom Brady rookie, and nice to see this has jumped up to 180. I mean, nice, further and further out of my reach, but boy, do I love that card.
You might have seen me grimace there for a second. That to me is a sign that I don't have any chance at that PMG Kobe, and I wanted one a couple months ago. I said that's the one Kobe from the 90s that I want to try to find. It's out of my reach, unfortunately.
It's out of reach. We got the Willie Mays, we got the Triple Logo Man, the LeBron 03 Exquisite rookie year auto patch, which I think would go beautiful with the Michael Jordan that we were looking at earlier, which is right there on its heels. 150 for the LeBron, 140 for the MJ.
Wow.
Now, with the BGS 9 there, BGS 9.5, of course, the reason why the LeBron is more expensive at this point, at least, is because it's a rookie year card. Some would call it a rookie card. And that's why it's not more than the MJ. If this was, well, it doesn't matter. We won't play those what ifs. Here's the Trae Young Gold, the dual logo man auto we talked about earlier. There's that Prism case from 2012. There's your favorite LeBron card, my favorite MJ card, Adam. Here we have the Justin Herbert. We have the Luka Orange Prism out of 49. And there's our BGS 9.5 Jambalaya, still hanging tight at $90,000.
It's interesting. This is something we've talked about before. It's interesting. There's like this wave. There are these waves of bidding that happen.
There's the 72 where I'm saying he's crouching down to fit on the card.
I love it.
I love that card. What a great card.
71 and 72 tops are my favorite two cards from the 70s. They're the first years post the Tall Boys. They're just wonderful colors throughout both sets. That's a wonderful card.
Let's keep our eyes on the top row here, guys. I'm going to run through some comments, just call out a few y'all that are out there. We've got Birds on the Bat says vintage basketball is criminally cheap. Ralph says, is that Giannis Immaculate jersey numbered variant? I'm not sure if that was jersey numbered or not.
It's not.
It's not. Eric says, you have my attention now, in all capitals. That's when we mentioned the 1966 Bobby Orr PSA 7. Glad we caught your attention, Eric, but glad to have you. Birds on the Bat says the 75 cream is his first Lakers card. Goes for a huge premium, so that's important for sure. Brandon says, thanks for the PWCC auction coverage tonight, fellas. So many beautiful cards. Thank you, Brandon, for showing up. Really appreciate it. Stefan Demergasso says, can you explain how PWC's extended bidding auction differs from the eBay auctions that end at precise time? I can do that, but even better for you, Stephen, I'm going to put on the ticker right now how it works. But quite simply, you have to have a bid in by 7 p.m. Pacific tonight to participate at all in extended bidding. If you don't have a bid in on a card you want, you can't bid on it. It is locked. For the first hour, you can see the extended bidding coverage right here, this clock. Every time a bid is placed on any card in the auction, this thing resets for 5 minutes. That's for the first hour. So that's from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock Pacific. After 8 o'clock Pacific, for the next half hour, every time a bid is placed on any card in the auction, every card in the auction is extended by 2 minutes. If there are no bids on any card in the auction for 2 minutes, the auction ends. It's done. All cards close. But one bid will extend it for 2 minutes. After 8:30 p.m. tonight, Pacific time, every bid will extend the clock for 1 minute and 1 minute only until there are no further bids. I hope that answered your question. Let's go back to the comments here. I love seeing the Jim Brown get a bid, the PSA Jim Brown. What a beautiful card. That one looks exceptionally nice. The registration is, the focus is just super crisp on it. I can tell from here. Barbara says, Jeremy, where is that auction you said November 1st? Barbara, check the ticker right now. Whatnot on iOS and Android. If you go to whatnot.com/invite/sportscardslive, I do have an invite code there. You can download the app. You need the app on your phone on your phone to watch. And I will be going live Monday, November 1st at 10 p.m. Eastern. So check it out, download the app and all that. Criminal Mind says, here's a contrarian view. I don't think we will see these inflated prices 2, 3, 5 years from now. So enjoy it while you can. I'd be selling everything if I had Jeremy's collection. I'm glad you don't, Criminal Mind. I've been doing this for 40 years and I've never sold my collection. And it's only ever done one thing for me, and that is be good. And I don't see that ever changing.
You know, Jeremy, the interesting thing about that is I used to have that perspective too. Like, I had that incredible collection. I would totally sell that. But the reality is that you have the amazing value in your collection you have because you were a crazy person who decided to keep it while it kept inflating. And the reality of that is you're not crazy. Like, it was the best thing you possibly could have done. But I get that perspective. Like, I get it. I can understand why somebody feels like, man, if I had that, I would just cash out. It's a good thing we didn't, though, right?
You know, I have sold a few cards along the way, and I do kick myself, you know, but I quickly get over it because of all the cards that I didn't sell and all the cards that I did buy. Like, I sold a card, but I bought another one. So nice to see Jackie. Nice to see the vintage up top here. 4 vintage cards, 1 modern. That's a ratio we don't see very often. And there we go. The ratio just weakened 3-2. So, but I like this dirt card. I like these rubies. That's a very nice card. I'm going to go to some more comments very quickly. Jason Mills, y'all doing the Lord's work this evening. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Jason. Great to have you there. Sergey says, if there's no end user, who is the last person to be stuck with all these high prices? No end user equals not a collectible. Well, that's why collectors are so important and are the foundation of this hobby. And there are no shortage of collectors because nostalgia is a human, I don't know if it's an emotion, but it's a human phenomenon linked very closely to emotion. And it's just not going to go away. As I've said before, as long as there are people, there will be collectors. And as long as there's sports, there will be cards. So it's not going away.
Can I just say real quick, this idea of there is no end user is actually something, I don't want to say that I pioneered it because that would be way too arrogant to say that, but that's something that I've talked about for a really long time. You have to have somebody who wants to own the card in the end. The exception at this point is with the fractional entities is you have to have people who want to own shares of the thing. Having people who really want to own it in a share form is as good as somebody who wants to own it in the end. And the real question there is, are there enough of those people that changes what Sergey just said? Because I agree with Sergey. That's something I've always said. We may have to think about that a little bit differently now, though, with the fractional ownership.
True, but even then, there needs to be someone who wants to buy those from that ownership group, unless the shares can just trade forever and ever. But the buyouts are a pretty important part of that whole cycle. I think I might be wrong on that. I got to think that through. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it can come down to the trading on the secondary market platform of those shares. That's
just it. It's just like a company. It's there's some reasons why it's different, but not all companies are dividend yielding. Some companies just are valuable in stock form because you own that piece of the company. They never provide the dividend. It's just the increase. It's just the increase of the share. And that's what you're talking about here, Jeremy, is if you have a fractionalized card, does it have to have the buyout? I agree with you that it is a very important part of what they're currently doing. But I would like quickly put my hand in the air and say, I think it can exist without that. I don't think they want it to, because I think it is an important thing. But as long as they can create a market where the shares are easy to buy and sell, to move in and out of, and people really do adopt that, they really learn to love that, then we don't actually need an individual at some point who wants to own the card.
Yeah, that's an interesting place to go. And the hobby's evolving, the world is evolving, so it's a plausible end state or future state, let's say. A couple more comments as we watch these bids come in at the top there, and there is let's see, we forgot to mention, but 2 minutes ago we moved into the next phase of extended bidding, so now the clock is resetting to only 2 minutes. If this clock here gets down to 0, the auction will be over. I don't anticipate that that's going to happen quite yet, though. We probably have a good 45 minutes to an hour and a half left, somewhere in there. I do want to bring up a couple of comments here. Jordan says, Jeremy, can you explain the juice? Does it apply to the monthly auctions too? So by juice, that's just a term I'm using. It's actually called the buyer's premium. It's 20% of the final hammer price or the final bid price. So that's what that is. It's the buyer's premium. It does not apply to the monthly auctions. It does not. So that's a distinct difference between these two, between their premier right here and the monthly right here. Buyer's premium applies. Buyer's premium does not apply to the monthly. So interesting stuff right there. Business 124 says still seems like those high-end low pop cards keep climbing. Well, exactly. I believe that's very, very true. Jordan says, Jeremy and Adam, can you refrain from bidding on the monthly auction so the rest of us have a chance? You all have a chance. Trust me. I've got like 20 something cards I'm going to be bidding on in the monthly, and probably going to get priced out of all but maybe one if I'm lucky. I'm not that hopeful because I get up my hopes and then I get outbid, and so I'm not as hopeful as I would be, but we will see. We will see. Barbara, you are welcome. Yeah, Jordan, the dirt got a bid. Brian, basketballs. This is an interesting comment. Every kid likes what their grandparents like. Now, I don't know if you're being facetious, Brian, basketballs, or if you're being genuine. I could see an argument either way, but I think people like cool old sports cards. Who doesn't want the Babe Ruth? Who doesn't want that Ty Cobb with the red background? Beat the House says, hey, Jeremy, thanks. Can you sort by least expensive to most just to see the cheapest of the bunch? Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Let's do that over here. Let's sort from lowest price, and let's see what's at the bottom. While that is loading, let's come back here, though. This nice Kobe Noble nameplates is at $18,000. 360. Wow, the Hank Aaron has jumped. Wasn't that at like 240 not too long ago?
Yeah, that MPJ gold is an interesting card too. That that's the pendulum. That's a pendulum card of this auction, because if MPJ becomes what he has the chance to become, that card, I mean, he could easily be as much as Trey next year.
Yeah.
Easily. Or that guy has serious injury potential. He could be worth half of that too. So
here are the more I don't want to say affordable, but yeah, affordable cards, the lower price cards at this moment. Flawless Duel Platinum NFL Shield, Joe Burrow and Tua, $4,000. You got a 2006 LeBron auto for $5,000. Bowman Chrome Gold Refractor, 2005 LeBron out of $55,000. Listen, I love this year of these white refractors are really nice. I just love the design on these cards with this little bubblish thing here. This card does not interest me at all. Flawless Kobe auto.
Why don't you like the Interlake?
Just oversized. Just oversized, and not oversized like the Lou Alcindor rookie or the Joe Namath. A different way. What's Japanese promo Pokemon card? We got a Shohei, Dwight Howard, LeBron dual quad auto with Yao, LeBron, Dwight. So here we go. These are the lowest priced cards in the auction right now. BGS 10. This has Michael Jordan on one side, Kobe on the back. The refractor version is at $8,000. That actually seems a little bit low to me for this card in a BGS 10. PSA 10, I wouldn't think, but in a BGS 10 seems a bit low. There's a nice Giannis, a nice MJ, Patrick Mahomes. So we're still under 10,000 here. You got a Messi, you got a Baker Mayfield, Mike Trout, Cognac at $9,000. We finally hit 10. There's that dual auto of MJ and LeBron, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Harper. That's the first page. We'll go to here, but in the meantime, let's go back and see what's going on at the top of the auction. There are the BGS 10. Peyton Manning Sp Authentic hits 20,000, and a Panini Prism Giannis Silver Prisms BGS 10 is at $40,000. I mean, that seems high to me in this case. Just hey, there's a hockey card getting a bid. Connor McDavid exclusives, Young Gun exclusives. Only 100 copies of this card made, and $32,000. Very nice. Nice to see hockey getting some love, and followed by soccer. The Erling Haaland looks to be numbered out of 10. That's a nice looking card. $15,000 BGS 9. That looks to be immaculate collection. Messi, 2004 gets a bid. Here we go. This was on my watch list, actually. The second year LeBron Black Refractor, 2004 in a PSA 10. I think that's just I love that shot. I love that image of him. What, are you bidding on something there, Adam?
Maybe. No.
Maybe.
I'm not. I am checking a couple of things though.
Another bid on the Hank Aaron. It's up to $380, the PSA 9. Nice to see Hank getting some respect. Going to go back to some comments for a moment. Steven, you are welcome. Yeah, it's a fun format. I find it to be a really fun format. Pedro says, Jeremy, is there any screening for the Premier Auctions? I don't know what you mean by that, Pedro.
Yeah.
What do you mean by screening?
I think what he's looking for here is like
bidder screening?
No, do they do any diligence on bidders to make sure that they're going to be this is something that I asked I asked Jesse Craig about, and was actually in our last issue of Basketball Card Fanatic. And historically, PWCC had a non-paying bid rate of about 3 to 4%. This is his answer, not direct, not identical, but pretty close. Historically, their non-pay rate was 3 to 4%. But then after the real boom earlier this year, they got up to about 10% not being paid. Thus far on their Premier auctions, they have had, through to this auction, they've had under five total cards get not be paid for. So their cards are all of the cards are getting paid for, because, as Peter asks about, the bidders are being screened, and so that's something that I believe in that. I think that what they're saying there is true, and so it should give you kind of a good feeling that that you're bidding against other real people. Whereas on eBay these days, I feel like the odds of that are a lot lower.
Well, the nice thing what I really like that PWCC has done is that they have hired 2 external firms to basically vet their system. And I forget what each one is doing specifically, but one of them is making sure that nobody can see maximum bids. Nobody internally can see maximum bids. And the other firm is making sure that the first firm got it right. And these are external. These are professional services companies. And the second firm, the report, and I said this to someone from PWCC way back, I think on a show, I said, it's great that you're going to do that, but it'd be even greater if you would post those reports on your website. Well, guess what? They're posting those reports on their website. And I think that's great. Just a top-notch move, and one that should give a lot of comfort to bidders out there. So kudos to PWCC for going to those lengths. Then they're going to have to incur expenses to do that. It's not going to be free. So they're really investing in their platform, and I think it's a great thing.
Hey, Jeremy, it seems like somebody else likes that LeBron James signature out of 25 from the rookie year that you don't like so much.
I noticed that. Well, like you said, reasonable people can disagree, right? We don't all like the same thing, for sure.
And how about this Kobe? Like, you guys know I love Kobe, and I'm all over him. Like, this Kobe 1 of 1 right here. 2 people are going toe to toe on this because it just keeps popping up over and over again. This is, again, back to reasonable people can disagree. I love rare cards, but this card in particular isn't one that I was super excited about because I don't like autographs on the patch, like on like manufactured patches like this. But I get why this is important, especially, if you are somebody who had that other one, the number 4, and you could put those 2 together, that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. If you could pair those up, for sure. And the fact is, Kobe's auto is, they're not making any more of them, and it's unfortunate, but it's the situation, and it is forced. It is just it's a finite amount that are out there now, and there's not going to be any more. It's as simple as that. So
I don't know if somebody's listening to us, but did you see that? It went from 48 to 55 to 60 in the last 30 seconds.
I missed that. I missed that. I didn't. Oh, to 65.
65. Yeah. There's a couple people who were, and like, let me add this too. And again, this is going to sound totally self-serving, and I apologize for that because I'm a huge Kobe collector. But like, some of the biggest card collectors in the world are Kobe collectors. And so remember how I was talking about earlier on the 1 of 1 for National Treasures that I was interested to see what it would do. There are a few huge Kobe collectors that will do just insane things. He is the most popular player from the biggest franchise ever. And it's a 1-on-1, right? Like, from playing days, it does almost nothing on Kobe stuff will shock me at this point. And again, I know that sounds totally self-serving, but here we are. That's what I believe is true.
Hello to Jeremy Allen. Appreciate the yo-yo. Timeless Cardboard says Saturday nights rock. Happy to have you. Definitely happy to have you. Jordan says, would we be surprised to start seeing some Lewis Hamilton sneaking in? No, I would not be surprised. There are some big Lewis Hamilton cards out there. Daniel says, I hate, what is it? Where did that go? Oh boy, so many comments. I hate how much more a PSA 10 is than BGS 9.5. Yeah, that's just something that we all have to kind of find what makes us comfortable in there. There's my guy, Darcy. Good evening, Darcy. If you're still there, welcome to the show. PSA Slab, thoughts on the mix of vintage versus modern and ultra modern? It's great vintage starting to get harder to find. Yeah, I think there could be something to be said for that, for sure. Dr. Evil is the best. Okay. I was referred to as Dr. Evil one time not too long ago because of the hairdo. Game Time Gallery says PWCC does screen bidders. You need to register with 2 auction house references in order to get approved. You also need to show proof of funds with screenshot of bank accounts. Thank you for that additional information. Game Time. And Andrew says the monthly auction is coming up in 2 days. That is correct. I think it comes up tomorrow, actually, with baseball. Andrew, I think baseball kicks off tomorrow and basketball 2 days from now on Monday. Kobe 101 is going nuts. Yeah, I was wondering, the more we talk about it, is it going to go up higher? It's up to 80 now. That went from what, 48 to 80 in the last 2 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. And we're getting to that point. Remember earlier I was saying there's like these different waves of bidders. There's a ton of bidders right in that 30-minute window, right when we jump on, because people want to get in their initial bids. And then I think, this is one of the things that happens with the extended bidding. We all kind of know that we don't know. We believe it's going to go on for a while. And some people, I think, sit back and they say, I'm going to wait until toward the end to bid. And so, if people feel like we might be getting towards the end, that's when you start seeing this flurry of additional bids.
I love seeing this 72, the vintage Kareem getting the bid. And then of course the Jackie and the SGC 7.5, as is well documented. If you watch this show, I do love this card. It's probably my favorite card in my whole collection. Not this particular copy. I don't have a SGC 7.5, but I just love this card so much.
I love
Currency
that
project. Sorry.
I love the Jabbar too.
Yeah.
I'm not a baseball guy, that, but the Jackie Robinson, I see those colors and I get why you feel the way you do about your copy.
It's just a great card. The Currency Project says, happy to see hockey back on ESPN. Yes, I'm hearing from some legit sources that we could see an uprising in hockey soon because of ESPN, TNT, and just that it's being more there's more and more of it being seen by people who weren't seeing it for a long time. So that's pretty good. How do you
like that Dirk that just got bid on? Because again, we talked about how you and I maybe have different tastes in cards. That card appeals to me because it's rare. It's his rookie card. His base version of that's pretty well known, not like ultra well known, but like it's one of his 10 rookie cards that people think about. How do you like that one?
I like it a lot. No, I really do. It's I love the rubies. It's a rookie card, as you said. It's rare. It's out of 50, I believe. This particular copy's well graded and as a BGS 9 mint condition. I love it, man. I love it. And you know what? Just because it's beside it, I don't love that Michael Jordan beside it. That platinum medallion. I know
why?
Why?
Yeah.
It just doesn't, the Fleer Ultra brand, the base cards are nice for what you get. But the parallels, the gold medallions and the platinum medallions, they just didn't do enough with them for me to distinguish them from the main card to make them that much nicer. I understand this card is numbered on the back. I believe it's out of 100, which is definitely important, and people are going to like that. But for me, it's just too similar to the base card that's worth whatever it's worth. That is just the base card. That there's many out there. So, and we're being advised that the Dirk's out of 25. So thank you, Blinding 90s.
He's right
on that. But in any event, I don't like the card. I just don't like the looks of it. And $40,000, there are dozens of MJ cards I would buy for $40,000 before that one.
So it's interesting that we're talking about this right now because we have this run of Jordans that just got bid on. And one of them that I wanted to kind of highlight just popped up. Do you see that one that says Superman there?
Yeah.
That's his Z-Force Super Rave. And that is a very interesting card because there's not a lot of like really rare parallels of MJ from his playing days, right? That's one of them. That card is super duper rare. But the difference between that card and its base card, to your point about the Ultra, isn't crazy. The only difference is you see in the Superman, like that's like it's got like a foil, foil maybe isn't the right word, but like it's got like a foil finish to it. But it's super rare, and you never see the card for sale. And so this is one of the nuances that I think newer collectors, it takes some time to figure out. You want the rare card. You want the card that is made rare by, not just by condition, but because it's a different variation. But there's a caveat. You want the rare card that's rare in a way that is noticeable. And this is why, and people won't like this, but this is why Flair Showcase Legacies versus the 101s, there isn't a whole lot of differentiation there. This is why, on the Ultra Platinum, like I have, and I can, I have one of my best cards is this Kobe Ultra Platinum right here. It's pretty similar to the gold. It is. It actually, that one at least has something that's really different. The front is almost like sandpaper, but it's similar enough that the highest end parallel isn't what you see with the rubies and with the PMGs. By the way, I want to point this out too. We've seen the clock now get down lower than 30 seconds a couple of times, and that doesn't mean it's going to end soon, but it is something that we need to start sort of maybe focusing on that we haven't talked about.
True, and in 10 minutes we're going to be down to the 1 minute bidding window extension. So this thing could end in the next little bit here for sure. I appreciate all those comments, on the Rave, the Platinum Medallion, your Kobe Platinum Medallion. See, to me that card is very aesthetically pleasing, but it's because of the image. I don't love the image on that MJ. Yours, that Kobe image, to me is one of the nicest Kobe images ever to make it onto cardboard. So, and it looks nice in the platinum version, but I think it's a different year than that MJ we saw, where everything else about the card, the colors are all kind of the same. Like, yeah, that I'm gonna hold on, keep it up there for a second. Yeah, can you just tilt it the top towards your screen a little bit? Sorry. Of. However, yeah, a lot of, I can see me in the reflection now. It's okay, man. Yeah, I just love that image. He's going in for a dunk, a reverse dunk. It looks like what a great. That's a nice image. But it's not that much different than the regular card. They took the name, they added some cool foil in the name, and that's about it. So in any event, that's fine. Here's an MJ that I love. This one right here, as we've said before. Now look at the Kobe's at 120. The Kobe's at 120.
Pull it back up, Jeremy, because it's just the two of us.
Shoot. Thank you. Here we go. There's an MJ that I really love. And there's a Kobe that's up to 120.
Kobe. Oh my goodness, Jeremy. The Kobe's at 120 grand.
In the door. 144 out the door. 144. All in for the buyer at this point.
Can we make in the door a saying? I don't know if it's a real saying, but I like it. I want to start using it.
We can do it. I think it makes sense. At least we know what we're talking about for sure. Here we go. The Freak says that's an iconic photo of the slam dunk contest. That's your Kobe Platinum Medallion he's talking about. Makes good sense. Kevin Walsh says, do you know if bidding will go down to half amount increments at the 1 minute countdown? I don't think so. No. I don't remember reading that. So
I don't think so. Honestly, though, I don't think it's a bad idea. Kevin, one of the things that we see with these auction houses is the larger increase or the large big bid increments sometimes prevent people from bidding. I would always advise on almost always smaller increments. I know some people disagree with that, but it's a decent idea.
Yeah. Sergey agrees with you on the Raves, Adam. Not much difference between the base. Skeppy says Super Rave is hard to identify if it wasn't numbered. Fair comments, for sure. Jordan says Dirk is better than LeBron with a little winky wink.
I love Jordan. That's awesome. Jordan loves his Dirk cards, and again, that's what makes this hobby great, man. You buy what you want, and I've got a couple of Dirk cards that I love too. Very cool.
No doubt. Here's a question came up a bit earlier from Pedro. How important do you think a foreign U.S. rookie's earlier foreign cards will be in the future? Like Shohei Ohtani's 2013 Japanese Bondi refractors. Well, Pedro, I'll tell you, if you would have asked me this question 2 years ago, I would have said not very important. But things are changing. The hobby's evolving. New people are coming in, new players, and people are looking to more oddball, rare items that are not as easily accessible as sort of mainstream North American releases. So for those, with that in mind, I think that those are going to become more and more important. I do. I can see them being more and more important, especially because of the rarity. If they are rare, if they are mass produced and they're easy to find, then not as important. It's gonna be a combination between being an earlier card and a rare card, and then condition is going to be extremely important as well. I would think. That's just my personal opinion. I'm happy to be countered on that, because I really depends on the player, the card, and Again, availability. 2011, Ben says in 2011, Dirk owned LeBron.
He's right. He did.
He's right.
Dirk owned the whole NBA. He beat Durant. He beat LeBron. And I can't remember who the other two teams were, but like they went through the hardest gauntlet they could. And they went and they just, that was one of the greatest championships I've ever seen, man. That Dirk year. Amazing run.
I want to speak to this card here, because I just looked at the subgrades on this Tom Brady Bowman Chrome Refractor. It's a BGS 8. So the first thing I want to see is what's dragging it down. In this case, it's the corners. While the surface had, I mean, it's harder to see now because it's down there, but the surface was a 9.5, which to me is very important. So if I'm going to buy this in an 8, that's the 8 I want. I want surface, centering, and edges to be the best, and corners to maybe be the worst, because you might have a touch of white on one of the corners that brings it down. Maybe it's even on the reverse. I know everyone in the hobby is it's not everyone, but most people are all about centering. I'm all about surface first and foremost. Centering is up there too, of course, but I don't want a well-centered blurry card. And by surface, I don't just mean scratches, wrinkles, stains, dings. I mean the print quality as well.
That's why your perspective here, Jeremy, is so good. Every time you pull up that image of the card and you zoom in on it and you like dissect what's great about it, what's not great, I feel like I learned something, and I'm sure that if I appreciate that perspective, that there's other people out there who do too. This Hank Aaron card on centering, this Hank Aaron card always bugs me because that top edge doesn't have a border on it. And we've seen enough cards that can be off-centered like that, you know, I know that it's not centering, right? It's not. It's the
design. So you're looking, so to assess the centering, you're looking at the width of the right and the left border, and you want it to be the same as the bottom border. That's how I look at centering on this card. But the most important, especially because there is no top border, is going to be the left and right borders. And this card is exceptionally centered from what I can see, and it is now exceptionally priced at $400,000. And there's that Kobe pulling in another bid. And there was a comment someone made here. Jake right here makes the comment, pretty sure the Kobe at now 140 was sitting at $100,000 buy it now when PWCC was on eBay, and no one bought it. So, but hey, and there's Hank going up there. Look at these two cards going neck and neck for most bids at the end of the auction here. Crazy.
Maybe the end. Maybe we've got 2 hours to go. You never can tell with these.
That's true.
And your Giannis that you were dissing on earlier is still climbing too. That Giannis card, like, that could be the Panini era rookie card, right? Because like, who's to say Giannis doesn't go win 3 of the next 4 championships and continue to climb? Everybody's so in love with Luka, and maybe it'll be Luka. But like, one guy's won a championship at this point and has a strong base and seems to own that conference, whereas the other guy, Luka, who I love, by the way, I love Luka, he hasn't got out of the first round though.
Well, I think you're right. To me, that is probably like, it's not a great comparison, but you know, when you look at the Giannis, like the RPAs, whether it's immaculate, flawless, NT, whatever one, you compare it to this card, which is just a card, no auto, no patch. It is a Prism, so it's the silver sort of version. You know, it's not the regular Prism card, which is still a very valuable card as well. So it's a parallel. It's a little bit more special, but it's still a pretty common card, relatively speaking. And 42,000 to me, it's like an MJ Fleer rookie. It's kind of that same sort, because MJ doesn't have a parallel. So is MJ the regular Prism if you're going to draw a parallel, or is it the Prism silver? I don't know. But whatever one, that's how I look at it as, because it's just a simple card. You know, it's like in hockey, we have the Young Guns. That's, to me, is the Panini Prisms is the 1986 Fleer, or any card from you know, a base Topps rookie card from the 70s, 80s.
I've got my hands on my head because this Kobe I like two people. This is what's fun about extended bidding, is that I don't think anybody in the world was going to guess that this was going to go this high, but you clearly have two people who just both really want this card, and they're just saying, hey, I've got one shot at it. It's a 1 of 1. I'm going to do whatever I have to go get it. And here we are at $180,000.
Jeff wants to know about the McDavid Young Gun exclusives. It was at, I think, $34,000. Last time we saw it come across the top, Jeff, which was just about 10 or so minutes ago. It did get a bid. Took it from $32,000 to $34,000. Alex says that the Aaron is light at the bottom. I don't know if you mean light in terms of the border being too short or the card is lighter in terms of the printing. Did it have some light damage? Not sure, Alex, what you meant, but thanks for pointing it out. Mantle getting a bid, says Vikram. Yeah. Joe Perot says rare in a way that is noticeable. Nice point, Adam. Joe always enjoys your commentary, Adam. Jordan says Luka will get there, Adam. He will get there.
I hope he does.
2 tips. Andrew Mark says centering and surface is what separates 9s from 10s. Makes sense to me. Yep, Terry, I remember that as well. 34,000. Looks like Pokemon's making an appearance at the top of the site right now.
Very cool. Yeah,
two people are going ahead. Birds on a Bat says the Golden Auction tonight showed the flagship card with iconic images is demonstrably more desired than the autograph cards from the same set. The flagship card with iconic is more desired than autograph cards in the same set.
I think what he's referring to there, what it's probably referring to there is the Prism, and we know this at this point. It's an interesting thing, but if you could have the Trey Gold Prism or the Trey Gold Prism or the Trey Gold Prism autograph, it's the Trey Gold Prism by a lot, and it's the same thing, like way more, like multiples, and it's because it's the regular rookie in its parallel form, and that's how it's always been. You want the regular rookie in its best parallel form, and largely that's viewed as the gold. The gold autograph is still a huge card, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing for me is that I don't like autographs on chromium type of cards. I think they take away from the card altogether. So I would just rather don't put the auto on it at all.
Usually those chromium cards require the autograph to be on a sticker.
Yeah,
and there are some of us. I can tell you mentioned my top 100 earlier. There isn't a sticker autograph on the top 100. I don't want an autograph on a sticker. It immediately.
Speaking of stickers, LeBron, but but look at the price, $15,000 for a LeBron and an MJ dual autograph. I mean, even for stickers, that seems cheap to me for those two guys.
If it was on card, it would be 3 or 4 times as much. And I don't know what that one's number to. Is that one to 10 or I don't know.
It looks to be 25 from what I can see there.
But a bunch of us will see that card and we'll see that it's on a sticker and we will immediately say, I don't need that in my collection. What that does though, and you talked about this earlier, having like an alternative card, right? Like you might not be able to afford a LeBron MJ dual autograph at this point on card because they're all $50,000, but this one is 15.
Look at the clock. We're down to 8 seconds. If there's not a bid, this thing could be. Oh, there's a bid. There's a bid. We have an extension. Okay, couple of comments here. Alex says the Hank Aaron is too short. So the border, yeah, I noticed that it was pretty obvious, Alex, that the bottom border is a little bit narrower than the sides, and that might be why it's not a PSA 10, right? That could be why. And what's that card in the PSA 10? If the 9 is 400,000, what's the 10? It's got to be $1 million. So for that little bit of border deal, I'd be happy to save $600,000 to have that different sort of border.
Sorry, real quick, Jeremy. You saw when we hit 1 minute, like the bids have been just flying in, and this is what I was talking about earlier. This is that moment where people are like, "Okay, we could end soon. I'm throwing my real bids in."
Yeah, I see that. Okay, I'm going to go through the rest of the comments. Erik Myers is in the back room right now. Erik, I see you there. Give me a couple minutes, buddy, because I want to run through comments, and if I do that with you here, they're just going to cover up your face. So. Pedro says, speaking of Young Guns, which would you prefer? I would prefer the exclusives. Easy choice for me. Pedro, that says $200,000 now on that Kobe, by the way. Birds on a Bat, that's what I meant. The Mahomes Prism Gold Vinyl PSA 10 outsold the Mahomes Prism Gold Vinyl Auto. That makes perfect sense to me. It really, really does. Pedro, for modern hockey, which RPA brand holds its value the most? That would be the Cup. By far, Pedro, the Cup. Jameson says baseball is all about chrome auto. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes they look good if they're not going to fade, if they're not going to bubble and all that sort of thing. Sergey says those stickers, yeah, some stickers have the scope pattern, and there's only 2 PSA 10 Hank Aaron rookies. All right, Erik, you ready? The nod, the thumbs up, he's ready. All right, let's bring on Erik. Erik, welcome back, man. It's always nice. We get to look forward to having you come on towards the end of these shows when we're in the end of extended bidding. We are now in the 1 minute extension period here, Erik. For everybody who may not know, Erik is an employee of PWCC. Erik, you've been there since about April. You've been there since they started these the Premier auctions, which started in May. How's this one shaping up from your perspective? What's standing out to you?
Well, let's see. Looks like is it going to end? Is it going to end? It's over. Did it end?
No, it did not
end. Got a bid. Yeah, I think I started there March, April, something around about that time frame. It's come a long way. I'm very impressed with the amount of items we have coming in, the quality of the items, the amounts that they're hitting. I mean, the Brady's at 1.4 out the door. There's a lot of quality stuff here. So
how much is it in the door? Can you tell us what it is in the door?
1.2.
Thank you.
Sorry, yeah, I'll go back in the door. So
the door.
The Aaron, I would have been shocked. The Aaron was the one that I was really focused on. Had it not hit 375, before BP, I would have been floored. But the fact that it's at 420, I think that's spot on. I think that's exactly. I think some of the most recent comps are private around the 450, 475 range. So it's right exactly in the wheelhouse where it needed to be.
What else? What else is sticking out to you? Have you? Is there anything that you thought might get more bids? Like there's a few cards on the last page that are that $4,000 or $5,000 level. Anything that you thought that you're kind of wondering what's going on?
The one I love the most, like my favorite card in this whole auction outside of the Aaron. The Aaron is number one. Number two is the BGS9 red PMG Kobe. Yeah, the popper. It's the high. So it's the highest graded PMG red. Period. It's got the highest subgrades of all. There's a pop 3, and it's the highest subgrades. So if you're looking for a PMG and you want the apex, that's it. There's nothing above that. There are no BGS 9.5s. There are no PSA 10s. So that it stops there. And I think at 216. A Jordan would probably go for around 6 to 720. So I think getting the same grade in a Kobe for sub 275, sub 280 is a good deal. Because if Jordan start tapping on 650 to 800, I feel like Kobe's would be 3 to 350 in no time. So I think best bang for the buck from what I've been looking at right now would be that one. Especially Kobe being as how he passed away and just has such a global following. That's the one.
What do you think about the mantles? There's the PSA 7 and the PSA 4. The 4 to me is, an initial glimpse is actually a nicer card just because it's better centered. Are they kind of? I think the 4 is at 75,000. The 7's at 240. Are they where you were expecting them to be?
The 4, yes. So the 4, yeah. So the 4, I think it came out just exactly where it should have been. The 7, I probably would have been thinking. Somebody asked me previously. I was thinking 260 to 275 before BP. That's kind of so. It's about 20,000 lighter than what I would have thought. 20 to 30,000 lighter. The 4 is spot on. I mean, it's an amazing 4. Whoever wins that 4 gets a great card. The centering, if you're not looking to drop 6 figures, good 6 figures, 150, 250, 350 onto a mantle, that's an amazing card. It has all the eye appeal. The centering is just. I bet that card is beautiful out of the pack. When sometimes you see a card, it's a 4 or 5, but you think, God, I bet that whoever opened that card back in the 50s, that was a beautiful card out of the pack.
For sure.
Jay
Rule. Let's just call this out. Jay says, "Good evening. Put down 6 figures in bids on 7 cards tonight and 1-0." Wow, Jay. Sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. And he's mad at you about it, Adam. He's saying it's all you. You're the one dropping $1 million tonight.
I know what he's talking about. And I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry.
It just ended. No. All right. Did it end or did it keep going?
No, it's going. It's going. You can look on the screen here. Oh, the Platinum Portraits gets a bid, which is nice. I have one of those right here, Eric. I have my copy.
That's awesome.
See, Jeremy, I told you shouldn't have sold it.
I didn't.
I know, but you were saying maybe I should have sold it and bought another one. Well, now it's more than, or now it's close to the offer that you got earlier on yours.
I was, of course, being, and it's not for sale.
I know.
Some cards are just not for sale. Appreciate that, Jay. Thanks a lot, bud. Thanks a lot.
Jeremy, I think we talked about the jambalaya too much. I think it threw people off on the jambalaya.
Eric, please don't type. Mute yourself if you're going to type, please. Is that you typing?
I'm not typing. Nope.
There's some sound coming out there.
Not me.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Something going on there. But a question for you, Eric. What do you think the price for the BGS 9 PMG Red Tim Duncan rookie compares to Kobe? Are you frozen, Eric?
I think maybe Eric's bad connection is what was causing the weird sound.
Could be.
I can take that answer or that question real quick though. Never mind, he's back.
He's back.
Is that better?
That was the sound, unfortunately.
Was it the sound?
Well, yeah, and not to spend too much time on it, but it happens every time you're on. I hear what sounds like typing, so I thought you were typing, but that's okay. We'll see if it comes up again. Jim had a question for you, Eric. He says, "What do you think the price for a BGS 9 PMG Red Tim Duncan rookie would be compared to the Kobe?"
Half. 50%. Yeah, 50%.
There you go. There you go, Jim. And a nice, quick and decisive answer from Eric on that.
It should
Eric,
be worth about the same. Yeah, go ahead.
Adam and I were talking about this Kobe, the King auto here, the famous nicknames. And my comment was that I think it's too busy for me. I don't like that black stripe going down the middle. Meanwhile, Adam likes a lot about the card. Not that this is like a competition, but where do you land? What's the tiebreaker as for the three guys on the screen right now? Where do you fall as far as the overall allure of this LeBron auto?
The LeBron or the Kobe?
The LeBron, the auto on the screen right now.
Let me see it. Oh yeah, those the nicknames. Man, any LeBron rookie auto is going to be worth money. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I know some people are hesitant about them. I honestly think they're kind of good buys for the price of what you look at other LeBron stuff's going for. LeBron rookie autos, I would prefer. You look at some of the cards that are non-autographed LeBron rookie cards, and they're hitting six figures. I'd rather buy several rookie autos for the same price. I think they have a better upside long term. Anything with ink on it, players are getting more and more aware of the cost of what these cards are going for. They're going to start charging more for the autographs. There's a chance that maybe it's harder to get good quality top tier player autographs out of packs. So I think that anytime you can get an all-time great, Mount Rushmore player autographed rookie card, I'll take that all day long. But I'm biased. I have a ton of autograph cards, so I'm kind of biased.
Makes sense.
Eric, how many Kobe autographs do you have at this point?
I'm down to 50. About 50.
Down
5-0 or 1-5?
5-0. Yeah, I'm down to 5-0. I had like 130 at one point, and I just keep selling them and selling them. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. I condense.
Jonathan Allen says this auction is going to keep going. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. A couple premieres ago, we called it quits, and it ended like 11 minutes later. If only we would have held on. But he says too many great cards to end. Yeah, there's a lot of cards in this auction for sure. There really are.
It's slowing down though. I mean, look, we're down under 10 again, and we keep getting under 10. It's not going to be surprising if we're done here
in 5 minutes at most. Let's see.
Well, that's it. It's it. It ended.
Did it end? Really?
It's over.
Oh, y'all.
I think it's over. Updating. It's over.
I really think that there was some, I really liked the Jackie Robinson 7.5.
Yeah, the SGC was a beauty.
God, that's a beautiful
Auction
card.
ended.
Looks like
Look,
the total.
all my tabs are reloading now.
All right, the total out the door. So can I go out the door now?
Yes.
Yeah, go out the door.
Just a smidge over 12 million. Total.
12 Oh, look at that with our heads on either side. That's so funny.
So nice. Yeah, it says 12,030,000. 12,030,000.
How much?
12,030,000.
So you already know the total bid, the total auction value.
I can see it. I can see it from my side.
Very cool. So there you go, everybody. It's a $12 million auction right there that we just watched end. And what's neat is that it ended 17 or so, 15 minutes into the 1 minute extended bidding. So not bad. Not bad. That's pretty cool.
It was perfect.
Yeah, and get it done, man. Just get it done, right? I think I kind of like the 2 minute and 1 minute window. It just, Adam was talking about it. Hey, come on. Let's make it happen, fellas. Put your bid in.
Well, let's do this. Just before we wrap up, the auction is now over right here. The auction is officially ended. The next Premier auction starts November 1st. We will be covering that again in November. That is the plan. Hopefully, it's not the same weekend. I'm traveling to card shows. I have 2 in November I will be traveling to, but I will do it from wherever I am. So 290. How are these now sorted? Lowest first. Let's go to highest price first, and let's run through the top 25 or so cards of the auction. We know number 1 is going to be the Tom Brady Contenders. Now, this is now out the door, everybody. These prices include the buyer's premium. This is what the buyers paid for the cards or will pay. $1.44 million on the Brady, $500,000. Well, $504 on the Hank. I love that. $360 on the Patrick Mahomes. $360 on the Brady autographed SP Authentic. Erik, I love this copy of the Steph Curry RPA. Beautiful patch. $360,000. $288 on the Mickey. $288 on a Luka. $288 on the Bowman Chrome Refractor Tom Brady. Look where this card finishes, guys. This 1/1 Kobe was at $42,000 not too long ago. Now it sits at $240,000. I went up $200,000 at the end. Here's the Kobe red PMG that we all would love to own at $216,000. The triple logo man, $200,000 or so. And it goes on. I like seeing these two beside each other, and it's nice to see this card right with it. A couple of 3 horizontal cards all beside each other, $180 each here. So they ended up at the same price. That's kind of good to see. It speaks to the strength of the MJ collector base versus the LeBron collector base. I think the MJ base, even though it's not even though the LeBron is a rookie year, it doesn't outsell the MJ. Now, that might also have something to do with the fact that there's just so few MJ cards out there altogether.
And that's the highest graded, too. That one is, there's Pop 2 True Gem Plus, so it's one of only 2 True Gem Pluses for the MJ.
I just want to bring up Jordan's comment here. I almost won a card, only missed out by $125K. You were that close, Jordan. You were that close. Better luck next time, pal.
One more bid.
Better luck next time. So there was a comment earlier, Erik, from Terry Fortune, one of your clubhouse buddies, and mine. Well, one of my buddies too says, "Ask Erik about his big sales. What's that all about?"
Yeah, I sold my Ted Williams and Satchel Paige yesterday.
What? Your PSA 9 Ted Williams?
I was not good. Yeah, I did. I sold him. A good buddy called me, and I owed him a favor, so. It was good. I mean, we're good friends, so I think we're both happy. Put it that way.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations. We can talk about that more offline, I'm sure. I mean, those are some big sales, but congrats to you. Congrats to you.
I like the Jambalaya doing 108. I think PSA 10s are probably like 160 to 180. Being as how this 9.5 went, it's what looks like a mini gem plus sold
this
for
one here.
Yeah. I mean, it shows a lot of strength for the Jambalayas because they're hitting $100,000 pretty consistently in a 9.5, which is really good. The Jackie at 96, I think, was awesome. I love that card.
Well, this Jambalaya it's a 9.5. It's got a 9.5 surface, 10 corners, 9.5 centering, 9 edges. Does it look that this color here in the background, this orangey red, it looks a little lighter than the red in my copy. A little bit lighter. How about yours, Adam?
Yeah, I think that we've seen a few of these have a little bit different, just slightly different color. I'm not sure that influences anything value-wise. Maybe it does, but it's still
could be the photo too.
It could be, but it's also, like we talked about, it's one of 40-something gem copies of the card, and it's the first one to pop up in a long time. So, maybe if the color was a little bit darker on the orange there, maybe it'd be more. I don't know. But,
look at it at this. Look at this angle here. It literally looks like he's jumping off the card. I love this card. Love it. I want to go look. We got to congratulate Kevin Walsh, won the Cobb.
Oh, congrats,
yeah.
Kevin. That's awesome.
So congratulations to you, Kevin. I want to find it. Let's all have a look at this card together for Kevin. I should just search for it instead of scrolling through. Let's see if we can find it for you, Kevin. Because I've had my eyes on a red background Cobb because the greens are just more expensive. Where'd it go? What happened? Premier. Oh, maybe I can't search now in there.
I think you can. Can't you?
Search by title. Cobb.
There it is. Click on that. Oh.
There we go. Yeah, PSA 6. That's a strong grade. Like, that's a super strong grade.
With the eye appeal.
Let's have a look at the card. Like, oh, what a beauty. What a beauty. Like, oh, and I love the sweet Caporal background. You got the NBA sticker, so it's been vetted by him, and he's got an eye for grading. Wow. Congrats to you, Kevin. And I see we're not the only one else congratulating you here. But, yeah, that is just awesome. He says they just never come up at auction. Yeah, what a great pickup, man. Like, just congrats. See, that's I love it. I love it. It's such a nice card. And I can't even see why it's only a 6.
Right. It's got a lot of color in it, doesn't it? It's got a lot of color.
The color's spectacular. It's the corners, right? Like just right there. A little bit of wear rounding, I guess.
I'll take a little corner wear with gray color all day long.
All day long. Corners to me are the last thing that I care about, especially on a vintage card. I don't mind a little bit of worn corner. I mean, I want a card that was loved along the way. Way to go, Kevin. Yeah, that's just amazing, man. Yeah, the sweep cap. Yeah, the sweep cap is a bonus for sure. Eric wants to know, what did the ore go for? I think we saw the final bid at, was it 21? So now it'll be plus the BP. Let's find it. Remind everybody, I will be back on Monday night, going to cover the basketball on the monthly auction with my buddy Joe Perot. Wednesday, I'll be doing the hockey. Next Monday, November 1st, I'll be on Whatnot, showing my Wayne Gretzky personal collection, which spans his rookie to recent cards. Excited to show that. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the Basketball Card Fanatic. Check out the new website. It's on the ticker right now, bcfmag.com. Congratulations to Adam for getting the website up and running. Let's look for the Bobby Orr for Erik.
Hey, while you're pulling up the Orr, one of the things that I think is going to be really important here with the monthly auction, Erik, is, I understand there's, it's obviously the first time you guys have done it, and I understand at the end, one of your guys, one of your reps, Jason, was telling me the end is going to be interesting, and he told me, he said, hey, you might want to sort of, and he didn't tell me this to share in this setting, but he told me, you might want to put in your max bid a little bit earlier, because it's going to be hard bidding within each specific increment if you have a lot of items. Can you talk about what will be different for the monthly, Jeremy, if you're okay with that?
Well, I am. I did ask Erik about this. We were talking about it a couple of nights ago on Clubhouse, and Erik, I don't know if you looked more into it, but I have a pretty good understanding of it. I actually have the details right here. I kind of screenshot it. So do you want to do it, Erik? Can you do it succinctly, or would you like me to?
No, go ahead and read it, and I can fill in any of the details.
Okay, appreciate that. So basically, it's going to be similar to the premiere that we just had. There's going to be 3 closing windows. The first one is going to be from 7 to 7:30 p.m. And that one is going to be where, actually, this is tougher than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go to the monthly auction here, how it works, and we're going to look at it directly because it is complicated. But here are the bidding window. So right here, the closing windows vary in size. The first window is between 7 and 7:30. Any individual auction, so it's not by the whole auction, it's by single cards. Any individual auction that does not receive a bid between 7 and 7:30 will close at 7:30. So that's this top window right here. No bid in the first half. So every card is alive until 7:30. Then what happens in 5-minute increments? So right here it says any individual lot will close at 7. Any individual auction lot still active after 7:30 will further close ahead of the entire auction if it does not receive any bids in the 6 subsequent 5-minute windows. So what that means is basically every card is going to get 6 chances to get a bid. If a card gets a bid from 7:30 to 7:35, it's going to get another. It's going to now go to 7:40. If there's no bid there by 7:40, it closes. Any card that gets a bid from 7:30 to 7:40, 7:35 to 40 will carry over to 7:45. So these are 5-minute extensions on a card-by-card basis or lot-by-lot basis. Then any card, any asset still active after 8 o'clock will close if it does not receive a bid in 1-minute windows. So unlike the premiere that we just did, these are going to be based on single cards. The single card itself, which is, I think, makes a lot of sense. Keeps it truer to the old style when it was on eBay, but allows the premiere to be more like the typical traditional auction house format. Erik, anything you want to add?
Yeah, it's basically like a hybrid. It's a good middle ground. We try to do our best to listen to the customers, buyers and sellers, and people don't want it all ending that many lots, 40, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. They don't want to have to wait for everything to end before their items end. So this is a good hybrid that allows extended bidding, but also closes in individual lots in 5-minute and subsequently 1-minute windows. So it works out really well. I think, and again, we're definitely willing to evolve and see how this works out. And we'll probably try this one for a few months and then see and listen to feedback. We're always trying to make it more palatable for all customers, but we also don't want everybody standing up till 3 or 4 in the morning, focusing on our auctions. We want people to go about their lives, get their items, and then move on.
To it. Yeah, I think I want to mention before it gets to 10 o'clock here, or at least where I am, guys, in 3 minutes, when we're done here, don't forget to go over to Instagram Live and watch the crossover with Chris and Josh from Card Ladder. They will be doing their weekly crossover episode. It's awesome. Check it out. It's rescheduled to Saturday, I believe, this week because Chris and Christina were traveling, but be sure to check that out on Instagram. That will be starting right away here, and then we will probably carry over into that a couple of minutes, but that'll be about it. A couple of final comments here. I like this one from Sanderson Dora. Says, Jeremy, you may have to explain to Erik who Bobby Orr is. I know it's just very funny, Erik, and thank you. By the way, these are both Sanderson Dora's real name is Erik, and Erik Myers is Erik Myers. And Lee Haskins says, do you think PWCC auctions get less people bidding since it's not on eBay? Well, I mean, I think the easy answer there is probably a little bit right now. But once the word spreads and it catches on, I mean, but this is the 5th month in a row that the premiere has happened. So the premiere auction has been doing pretty well overall. Erik, your thoughts on that?
Well, I think initially the first month, if there's deals to be made, it's going to be the first month. That's where it's going to be. So we'll probably have a little bit lower audience base on month 1. And then after that, it's just going to pick up and snowball. I think every month is just going to, just like the premiere auction. Our first auction, I think we had like 100 cards, 120 cards, and it just kept getting up and up. And now we're setting records with pretty much every auction. a multitude. And I think it's going to be the same thing, the marketplace. People are going to want to look around and try different marketplaces. Nothing against eBay. I'm not, going to slam any other marketplace, but people want variety. They want to be able to look at good options, whether it's us or any other marketplace. And I think eventually the eyeballs are just going to go where the deals are. It doesn't matter. They want good cards and they don't want to overpay for them, because if they can get a good, I had so many people, my own customers, reach out to me like, man, I'm going to bid on like 50 or 100 cards, maybe 120 cards. I think if I can get some that fly under the radar, literally within the past 2 days, every single person I've talked to has said, yeah, I haven't seen anything that I was following that's flying under the radar. So basically with the prices, they would probably get them, on eBay, it's negligible. It's just really shipping and the fact that they're here. The one thing that is important though, that a lot of people don't discuss, whether I know for our marketplace, the difference between us and eBay is, where the cards are. They're in our possession. We don't list them unless we have them in the vault. That's important. There's no chance of you getting scammed by, you pay for an item and then, the guy sends you an empty box. That's not going to happen with us, and that's important. You have the safety and security of knowing that the item's coming from a legitimate company and the item is in that company's possession and they're going to mail it to you and it's going to be fully insured. So those things are important,
Well, and not only that, but you could just leave it there in your vault too. So you may not even have to pay for your shipping and handling, and there's a lot of benefits there. But hey, before we get too far away from Erik, we're talking about the monthly auction. Is it going to be? It is a little bit confusing to me, just being real. Is it going to be where that first half an hour window? Do you have to bid on a given item before that first half hour window to then participate in that half hour window? Okay, so that's really important to recognize, and it's something that makes me nervous because people might think, oh, I see the schedule, I just need to be there for that first half hour window. If they're not, there may still be some deals to be had.
So let's just be clear on the monthly auction where the baseball starts ending tomorrow. If you want to bid on an item, you have to have your first bid in by 7 o'clock Pacific. If you don't, you are not going to be able to bid in extended. So that's the hybrid sort of part of it. Yep. Guys, I want to congratulate David Owens for winning the Michael Jordan Platinum Medallion 8. Congrats to you. Kevin Walsh, who bought the Cobb, sold the Gowdy PSA 4.5 Babe Ruth. But that was not the number 53. That was the full body standing, the pitching version, I believe. I forget what number it is. But congrats to you on both of those for sure. Daniel Busby, there is no after hours show tonight, sir. No after hours. We know this one went longer than usual, and we'll start it early. And I'm going to go over and watch the crossover on Instagram in a few minutes here, and I recommend or hope to see a bunch of y'all over there as well watching that with Chris and Josh. Alex says, wish the monthly auction was vetted. It seems it will be easier for someone to put in a bid they do not intend to pay for. No eBay strikes or repercussions. Erik, can you speak to that? Says it'll be easier for someone to put in a bid they do not intend to pay for. I mean, you have to be approved. You have to right? So if it's going to happen, you're going to be banned from them. So they have all the control now where they didn't before. So before they were limited to 5,000 block bidders on eBay. Now they can block anyone they want. So I think it's going to be better than ever.
Yeah, and we have autonomy over that. So I'm not going to get too into detail how we can track who might be placing bids on their own items or people that don't pay for the items. There are ways we can track stuff like that behind the scenes. I can't get too much into that, but because of the fact now we're on our own platform, we have a lot more control to make sure. But plus, like you had mentioned, everybody's vetted. Like you have to do a multi-layer authentication process. You have to have a phone. You have to text that in. We verify everybody. We don't want people setting up multiple accounts from one residence to where they can pump bids up. The normal stuff that you've probably all heard of or seen. Happen, on eBay and stuff, and you've read all this stuff on Cardpoint or other blowout forums and stuff. We're trying to get rid of every aspect, potential option for people to not pay for items, win them and not pay for them, and B, pump them up. We're trying to get rid of everything we can. We've got lots, and it is more difficult for people to sign up with us because we do require more vetting. but it's for the betterment of the auction and the hobby as a whole. And if we can get the precedent set, hey, this is the qualification standards that we have, that's the minimum standards, and then we're just going to raise it up a little bit more from there. And
Yeah.
we have the right to just block people, period.
Good. Well, Alex says that gives them more confidence that now that I can't snipe. Yeah, I mean, I like sniping. It's I like. Sorry to everyone that I snipe, but sniping has been a good friend to me for many years in terms of being able to come in and just get a card at the end. I mean, it's within the rules, so
nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
But not being able to snipe will be good for sellers too. And now we'll really know that someone who might have been willing to bid more, not everybody gets their top bid in when they bid. Some people just don't do that. So
we have to stand by the sellers.
Sorry, what's that, Eric?
Yeah, and we have to stand by the sellers. We really do, because they're the ones that entrusted their items with us to auction, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Our job is to try to, we don't want for the buyers to be overpaying for stuff, right? But at the same time, our job is to stand by the sellers. They trusted the stuff. They trusted their possessions with us to sell and get them a market value for it. So we have to do what's best for the seller to make sure that they get all the bids that were meant to be placed in that item.
Definitely.
It's a good, honest way to do it.
Adam, we're going to wrap up. Any final thoughts, comments from you on the evening and the premiere and the upcoming monthly?
I would suggest to everybody, as we talked about earlier, to get your bids in early on the monthly stuff, because you don't know how that's gonna. You don't know how people are going to react. And if not enough people are seeing it, then you might have some good deals out there. Also want to thank you for plugging the new website for BCF. BCFmag.com is our new way to pay for the magazine. We did it on paypal.me as long as we possibly could to keep it simple, but it's gotten too difficult to manage all of that. So we have the website now for it. Go check it out, and grateful for all of our new subscribers from the last week. We're excited to get you guys these magazines you see behind me, starting every month.
Congrats on the magazine, man. It looks they're beautiful month over month. Thanks for joining tonight, Erik. Thank you for joining at the end. Always nice to have you come in and bat cleanup for us. Close things out. Couple final announcements. Again, crossover on Instagram Live. If you're following Chris_HOJ or Cardboard_Chronicles, you'll see them at the top. Join their show. It's probably running right now. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, join the Facebook group, or on Clubhouse, it's all on the ticker right now as well for the next minute next few seconds, actually. Thank you, Lee Haskins. Appreciate the comment very much. Thanks for joining. Also, Collectible Live, the other show that I do on Sunday nights, will be at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. My guest will be a gentleman by the name of Brady Hill, who is an extraordinary collector, someone that I've looked up to in this hobby for 10 years or so, and very excited to have him on the show. I've bought cards from him in the past. I will be showing them on Collectible Live tomorrow. Again, if you're not subscribed yet to the Collectible YouTube channel, it is youtube.com/collectible app. You can see it on the ticker right now. Please subscribe and join me tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern for that episode. Make sure on Instagram you guys are following the Big Three Hockey. They're up to big things at the Big Three Hockey. And again, Whatnot. Download the app on your iPhone or your Android and join me Monday, November 1st at 10 o'clock Eastern, where I will be doing my very first Whatnot live stream, showing off my Wayne Gretzky personal collection and auctioning off some cards. And of course, we have the Toronto Expo November 11th to 14th and the Big Vancouver Show November 19th to 21. Websites are at the bottom. Come check out those shows and join me and others there. Thank you, Erik. Appreciate that. PSA Slab Guy, thank you. Erik Myers, final comments. I see you. You got excited when I said Brady.
Oh, man, Brady Hill's a legend. Just a legend. Just an amazing. I'm so grateful that he's a member of our hobby. That's really all I have to say about Brady Hill. He's just an absolute legend. His collection is insane. He's a passionate person about his collection and about the hobby and the industry. It's all good
Erik,
stuff.
I'm going to be getting into that with him on Sunday. So come watch the show on Sunday, man. I'd love to have you. Love to have you watching it live and in the chat saying hello. I'm going to be asking him and digging into his passion for the hobby for sure. Barbara, thanks a lot as always. Glad you downloaded the Whatnot app. It's a fun app. Okay, everybody, that's it. Adam, thank you. As always, we'll do this again next month. Erik, same to you. Thanks for joining us at the end, guys. We'll close it out there. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Have a great week ahead. And hopefully we see you on Collectible Live tomorrow. If not, have a good week ahead, everybody. Thank you. It's over.